I could hear a lot of commotion that was going on outside. People that were screaming and yelling and this low murmuring and a moaning noise that was going on, like some kind of a low chanting noise that was going on. So I knew in mind there was some type of a ritual going on because I'd heard that many times before.
Yeah, rest of the year will fill with splendor. Little baby shooting arrows started off in the dead of winter, right after pedophiles had little boys for Christmas that sat on their lap and asked them for toys for Christmas. This guy's a day for fathers, another day for mothers. Make it look real good. How about a day for lovers? Bunny rabbits, Easter egg hunts, wearing colorful outfits after missing church for months to celebrate this hidden sedition with wicked and rigid, but didn't hold nothing back with a certain Celtic tradition. Pagans and Wiccans, bunch of different ways to say Satanists. Some don't want to choose, get them to call them atheists. But nobody's offended until you say, hey, the creator of earth, he gave us holy days. Now they're like, hold on, now they've been opposed on. Space been encroached on. Man, this world long gone.
You know, it was real common to see people fall on the ground and go into convulsions during rituals and stuff with the demonic presence that were around. And finally, a woman came to the back of the van and she said, it's time to go. And I could see that there was just a lot of people around. Some were dressed in dark brownish kind of robes with hoods over them. They took me up and they led me up to this stone altar.
But this day we'll play no games. We ain't disguising nothing. We having witches. And fight pass out candy to children that come running up. That way we know they gon' participate. What kid won't cry for some candy? And what parent won't alleviate? And they've been coming up missing all year to be the main meal for days like this right here. Halloween, a night of all-out wickedness. They finish it, drinking on the blood of the innocent. Tied to an altar, getting bled like a pig. Lick your child off their fingertips, baby back ribs.
And I remember I saw the little girl, and she was on the altar. Now, at first, you know, I just wondered what was going on because you never knew. I mean, they used the altar for a lot of different things. They could have just been sacrificing an animal over. It could have been a sexual abuse from the high priest onto her. You know, it was a hard thing to know for sure. Well, they ushered me up to the altar, and I could see that they had bound her feet. They had her feet spread apart, her legs, and they had bound them to the ends of the altar, and they had taken her arms, which were laying out this way, and roped them to the altar. And she was really white, and I noticed that they had slit the bottom of her feet and her wrists, and they were taking the blood that was running out of those areas and putting them into chalices and passing those cups around to different people who were partaking of her blood. Then the high priest, he took the athami, or the ritual knife, and he picked it up and he put my hand on it, and then he forced it into her chest. So when I think back on Halloween, you know, over that period of time that happened, you know, that was the climax event, Halloween night, where they killed that innocent little girl. And this is something that's happening every Halloween. That's not just an isolated event. I mean, there are children all over the world who are losing their lives during Halloween night, and yet we, as a society, we go out and celebrate it, and we go door to door and we ask for candy, and it's a big celebration to us. And I think it's quite ironic how one group of people are thinking it's fun, and another group of people are taking human life, and yet they don't. You know, there seems to be this wall, and nobody wants to face the facts of what's really going on.
No, that ain't good enough. Hold on, come back at it. That's not good enough. Make a
plan. More children turn up missing this time of year than any time of the year. Usually around this time or around near Christmas, because they really need some pure, innocent blood to drink. And it usually is young children. They're killing 12 midnight on around Halloween, the time they claim that the dead comes to this earth, that a door is open from hell and the dead walk amongst men.
It's your horror story this year. Whole bunch of Israelites woke. This film is only for the most higher host. Ask them what happened the Day of Atonement. Demons was getting starved out, moaning and groaning. It's a nightmare on your street. 4 deep, no heat, cold sheet of straight facts. Everybody gon' see that Session ain't the true image of Christ. And that the transatlantic slave trade was prophesied. No dark hoods, we am alright. Get up a grave ward and it's crawling with the living dead, busting out they coffins. Either Mike lady tried to run if a snake car tripped over her own feet. You know how they fall. Called a couple keeping at a state park. Slaughtered their religion, sent them spinning off in their car. Marvel not a how you got this. Stay calm. Blowing up the spot. Napalm. Yeah, we know about your child sacrifice. A cold practice you pick.
Look,
Canaanites.
y'all gotta go.
One buy for some apples, how you like these? Hip to the tree, turning down your trees. And we don't hollow no wing. We don't hollow nothing but the Most High. We don't hollow no wing. Yeah. We don't hollow nothing but the Most High.
Yeah, come on.
Verse 5, and also those merciless murderers of children.
Ooh, look at that. You see why they took this out of the Bible? Part of the practices of the Canaanites were their merciless murdering of children. Their whole thing is aimed towards destroying the children. That's paganism. See? Come on.
Put the caution in Norris and not listen. You won't care until it's your child missing. Instilling the fear of demons in your child heart. They ain't scared of the Most High, but they terrified of the dark. Follow not the way of the heathen. My children is Frenched up, never been trick-or-treating, and ain't keeping nothing but the feast days of Shabbat. A costume for what? Stop trying to be what you're not. And Cleopatra the Nefertiti, all the Egyptians white. Why it's hard to believe they stopped the Israelites. Looking at your watch and it's about that time to go looking for your child that you ain't never gonna find. Cause they down in some basement, molested and murdered, about to get ground up and served back to you as a hamburger. I ain't lying, do the research by the same people you was taught as God's chosen people of the earth. Yeah, we know about your child sacrifice. A cold practice you picked up from Canaanites. Wanna buy for some apples, how you like these? Get to the tricks, turning down your trees. And we don't hollow no wing. We don't hollow nothing but the Most High. We don't hollow no wing. Yeah, we don't hollow nothing but the Most High. Back from the dead and they can't understand it. We don't hollow nothing but the Most High. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments. Yeah. We don't hollow nothing but the Most High.
And also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh.
And devourers of man's flesh.
And the feast of blood. With their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands, souls destitute of help.
Souls destitute of help. Children screaming for mercy and help are given to these satanic evil priests to be sacrificed like nothing on altar. Hey, it's allowed in America.
Come. 2 Ezra 2 and 29 through 31. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. 30. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Most High, thy power higher. 31. Remember thy children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth, and shew mercy unto them, for I am merciful, saith thy power almighty.
Yeah, just wanted to bring up this fair use disclaimer before we really go in. I meant to do it before the video, but everything we showing is for teaching purposes only, educational use. That's it. Fair use for everything. Yo, Shalom. Y'all brother still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I see Ben was in there for a second. Yes, he fell out, but we gonna continue once I really will come back to it. Yeah, we back for a timely one. Episode 20. Titled Child Sacrifice to Tradition. Is these holidays really about family? And yeah, I think this is a time where we about to go into, And yeah, I get the video. You should be able to play it too, but if not, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, this gonna be a time one. So before we go in, get some people some time to come on in so we can sit back and shoot the birds or shoot the breeze for a minute. Are you good over there?
Who, me?
Yeah, you good?
Oh yeah, I'm good. All praise to the Most High, man. Glad to be here. Yeah, man, this is over here in East Africa, over Tanzania. It's real. It's supposed to be like the rainy season, so it seemed like it's been like a lot of bugs, man. A lot of bugs, a lot of lizards getting in the crib. So I got my stick right here. You know what I'm saying? On deck just in case something run up or something. You know what I'm saying? Can you hear me clear?
Like
Am I
a
lagging?
day.
You say what?
Oh, dude. No, I hear you. I hear you.
Sounded like it was a little lag. Yeah, but I'm good, man. Just glad to be back on live again. Yeah, check me out, Cortez Israel. That's my Facebook. Pilgrims in the Earth. I'll be trying to go live and do some things, inviting these brothers on too. But yeah, like, subscribe. Freestyle Sunday podcast, man. Y'all keep supporting and sharing, and spreading the truth, man. Yeah, that's it right now.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the title? What's the title for the day?
Child sacrifice to tradition. Is these holidays really about family? I'm glad that you came with that, though. Yeah. You came with that yesterday. We were talking to me. I'm like, shoot, that's it right there. That's what that's the season we in. That's the season we in, man.
Yeah,
like you said, though,
it seems like there's a little lag. But go ahead, my bad.
What you about to say?
Nah.
No, it's good. It's just,
I was just saying that it seemed like once you bring out the history of course we know that the history of a lot of these holidays, if not all of the holidays, it has some type of satanic origin to it, either some ritualistic devil worship or some paganism worship of some ancient deity or something like that. But what we call Babylonian, a lot of the gods that was worshipped in ancient Babylon. But once you bring these facts out that you research to a lot of your family members and a lot of people who still partake in these things, because a lot of them are focused on children and getting children involved, like Christmas, Halloween. A lot of them are family oriented, like Thanksgiving. A lot of the families coming together, sitting down. I don't know what that noise was, but yeah, sitting down, coming together, and and yeah, sitting down, coming together, and spending time together. But yeah, but once you bring these facts out to your family, a lot of them kind of reject them, and they kind of tell you that they're doing it for the children. So, children are innocent. They come into the world, they don't know anything unless we teach them, or bring that into our home. So, a lot of people will tell you like, "Oh, I'll just do it for the kids." I'll celebrate Christmas for the kids, or I just do Halloween for the kids so they don't miss
Mhm.
out on. So that's why the title hit hard. That's all I was gonna say.
Right, right, right. I mean, you're absolutely right with all that. Like you say, it's like the kids, they innocent, they don't know no better, so they just doing what they taught. And you also was just saying too, like with different gods being worshipped over here in the Western world, it's a lot that goes with these celebrations. And I want to read something right quick. So you see what you said that
Yeah,
the
my
first thing
bad.
that came to my mind was this. First thing that came to my mind is this. I don't know if y'all can see it. This pagan book of days. Yeah, this the pagan book of days, and like the Ak was saying, it's different gods and stuff worship on this day. Oh, not just this day, just all these days. I'm gonna read a little bit out the introduction. It say the pagan traditions is grounded in mythical and numinous elements existing between matter and spirit. The world over it is called something like the old religion or the elder faith, acknowledging its senior status amongst religions. So this acknowledgement goes in cahoots with the religion that like they know that there's something spiritual attached to these days. It say I'm gonna drop down to the third paragraph. It say worship of the goddess as Isis, Shakti, Aphrodite, Freya, Selena, and other forms take place in Egypt, Hindu, Teosis, Greek, Norse, Rome, and Native American religions, as well as in moon worship. It provides a balance with patriarchal forms of worship, such as Judaism, which are essential solar-based paths. And it say the fourth paragraph, it say the worship of the goddess and gods of Northern Europe in their variety aspects is known as Northern and sometimes Western pagan traditions. We understand that this is the Western world over here. This includes Norse, Anglo-Saxon, and Frisian deities, as well as those of the Celtic and Baltic pantheons. The worship of the Norse deities is known as I don't want to keep saying these names. So if I stop saying names, that's why I'm not about to keep saying these names. But I just went here because what Ted said with it's different guys attached to this stuff. It's guys that comes with this stuff. So when our people so when us as adults celebrate these things and we teaching our kids to celebrate, and what are we doing? We teaching them to worship those guys that's attached to them days. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that out real quick because you had brought that out. I really didn't want to bring it out that fast, but you went straight into it. So I'm like, hey, it's perfect. Yeah, teaching our
Yeah,
kids to celebrate these days. That's what we're doing. We giving that power over to them guys.
yeah,
So,
man. Yeah, and
mhm.
it seemed like around this time of year, not just going into Halloween, but this whole period from, I would say from I say right around October all the way until January, it seemed like it's a very kind of like strong spiritual side. I mean, a strong spiritual presence of loneliness. A lot of people commit suicide. A lot of people feel bad about their family members that was, that's passed away. Because we as children, we have a strong connection with these times of the year because a lot of memories are brought back when we start thinking about, we gathered around a tree or we gathered around a table, things like that. So, it's a strong presence of, and they hit us with the music. You start hearing the Christmas music. A lot of that stuff takes a hold of us. But yeah, that's good that you brought that out. Okay, hold on. Let me see. One moment.
Well, it's crazy, like you said, they
All
put
right.
that music in there, and what that music do, it make you feel so golly good to it and stuff. Whatever music playing on that time, that's the spirit you're gonna be in. Have a holly jolly Christmas. What you do? You walking through the mall, now you wanna go buy a present.
Yeah. And then once I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but once I hear a song, I can remember vividly what I was doing. It brings back memories, just like, you smell like a perfume. It brings you back memories of your grandma who was wearing it. Or you hear a specific song, it brings you back around that time when when they was playing that music when you was younger, childhood memories, basically. So we have a connection with that time of the year or with these holidays. That's why people just feel like they just gotta celebrate it, or they gotta buy these presents for their kids, or they just gotta, have these boundaries set for when not boundaries set, but they gotta have a standard of keeping up with these holidays. Oh, everybody's on the neighborhood doing it, or everybody at the school doing it, so we gotta partake in it. It's very rare that somebody just stand alone and says, you know what, we're not celebrating this no more because of the history or the research that we just researched, because, it's satanic. Because, once you begin to separate and stop celebrating them, you have people look at you kind of weird, Oh, why he not doing this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or why they not dressing their kids up like demons and goblins and witches and saying trick or treat. Yeah, so
trick or treat. Man,
trick
that's
or
crazy.
treat.
And that's
we just had Halloween just passed.
Exactly. Yeah. So what it go to? Then it will go to, so you get that question when people say, so you don't let your kids celebrate it? Oh, you boring. You're a boring parent. What you gotta say for them?
Man, kids only know what you teach them. I mean, you set the doctrine, or you set the standard of belief in your own household. So your kids ain't missing out on nothing.
Right.
What they know. Of course, you have the TV and all this outside influences that can come into your home through the TV. But let's say you don't have a TV, you homeschool your kids, you're not allowing them to be on the phone all day. I mean, how would they even know unless you allow them to have these things? But I think before you allow them to have these things, you should set a foundation of understanding that they know good from bad or right from wrong. So that's what I do personally. So my kids are So what did you do for Halloween, man? How did you celebrate?
Hey, what's that old saying? Sure, we went out there and got some doggone baseball bats and started beating these zombies up. It's like, no, let me stop. I guess, man. Okay, I was at work, man. Of course, like you said, though, we teach our kids that day is a wicked day. So most definitely, that people should most definitely know that our kids can celebrate that, man.
So when did you
because at the end of the day, like you said, you got to teach them the origins of this stuff. Huh?
My bad, it's a lag. You go ahead. You can continue what you were saying.
Oh no, I was gonna say people need to teach their children the origin of this stuff, because if you don't, it's an old saying: if you don't teach your kids, somebody else will, and that's what's gonna happen. If you don't teach these children, somebody else gonna teach them. You got indoctrinations in schools and friends, and then you got the TV in front of them, like you said. they gonna learn some of this stuff some way somehow. So our job is to teach these children how this stuff is not for us to be celebrated. It's not to be celebrated, at least by us. We not we not pagans on, but I wouldn't think we pagans. Once upon a time, in our mindset, we was Gentiles, so we did Gentile things. We ain't perfect. But now it goes with that old saying: "You knew better, you do better." So we know better, so we try to do better. We got the Most High as well as our children. We got to train up a child in the way they should go. So yeah, you can go ahead and ask your question now.
Oh yeah. Now I was gonna ask you. When did you stop celebrating holidays, and what landed you to stop celebrating holidays?
Man, to be for real, bro, I stopped celebrating holidays. What's this? 2023. Man, I stopped celebrating holidays like in early 2000, mid 2000s, I think. Before I even learned a lot of this stuff, I stopped celebrating that stuff. And what led me to it, to stop celebrating it, I can't really tell you. All I can say was probably the Most High just shedding stuff off me piece by piece. Stop celebrating holidays. Stop smoking the marijuana. Stop drinking heavy. Stop eating the pork. It was steps. But I think the Most High was shedding that stuff away from me a long time ago. I just didn't know what it was until I really started learning the Bible, according to how I learned it now. So that's what I think what stopped me from celebrating it was the Most High. One day period. I ain't celebrated Christmas in over years. Huh?
I was gonna say, what led you to stop celebrating holidays? Like, what did you run across that made you say, you don't want to deal with it no more?
I don't know. It was just like it wasn't in me no more. I just stopped out of nowhere. It wasn't in me no more. Like I don't know, man. My homeboy, we used to have a tradition to where we would come together on holidays, and we'd just be chilling in my car while everybody else be out there, like maybe at parties and stuff like that. We'd be outside the party sitting in my car. I don't know. It was just I don't know. I don't know what stopped me from celebrating. It wasn't in me no more. That'd been over 15 years ago too.
So, with this, with the live stream, are we connected to? It's just connected to YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, because StreamYard is new for me, so that's why I'm asking. You got Brother Ben, I see right there in the building. Shout out, Brother Ben. You got what's up, bro? You alright?
Shalom, y'all all right? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, blessed, bro. Blessed by the best.
Yep.
Y'all brothers feeling good?
Yeah, man. Just having a little discussion, about this whole topic we got going on. But I'll just say this. What I was gonna say. What led me to kind of stop celebrating a lot of this stuff early on. I guess I would say when I was younger, a lot of our families came together. A lot of my family came together during these holidays. Predominantly on my mother's side, who I was around mostly around like Christmas, Halloween. We used to do things, come together. But I guess once my grandma passed, a lot of us like moved around, and I learned early on that I guess I seen like the separation of the family, like the destruction of the black family early on. Well, we wasn't getting together no more. So when holidays came around, it really didn't affect me because I was already used to not, being around my family anyway. So it kind of led me, once I started learning about the history and the origin of those things, it really didn't affect me to not celebrate them because I wasn't doing it anyway. So a lot of people that might get affected by, Christmas, because I hear some people, you might have a family, or a husband or a wife, or a husband might come into the understanding that Christmas is evil, and he want to let it go, but his wife don't want to let it go, and it causes friction between the two. So it's never been a big deal for me personally, but it did become a problem, I guess, when I met my wife and we had our son, our first son. I remember, I think it was Christmas that came around, and her family was kind of pressuring her to, celebrate it, and she was kind of still into that, and she ended up, me and her got into it over that. But that just show you how strong of a presence these things is, and a stronghold it has on our families. But yeah, for me personally, I started doing more research. One of the scriptures actually that caught my attention was Jeremiah. This is the famous, Israelite scripture that everybody, but it was Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. I'll just read that for edification purposes real quick. So Jeremiah 10:1, it say, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." So, this is the Most High, or the God of the Bible, or the God of the Israelites or Hebrews, speaking to Israel, saying, be not like the heathens. So the heathens were the outside nations, the people that really wasn't giving the law. So, Israel had a standard that they had to set in the world to be the example. So they were doing the laws, the statutes and commandments that God gave them. So he's saying, don't be like the other nations. Don't be like the heathens that don't follow law. He say, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Because, what we'll learn throughout this podcast, a lot of the heathen or other nations, they like to celebrate the the luminaries, the sun, the moon, the signs in the heaven. They'll find anything to worship. So it says, for the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hand of a workman with the axe. So they cut a tree with an axe, they deck it with silver and with gold, they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs to be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. So, that gave me, once I read that, they deck it with silver and gold, they set up a tree, and I was like, nah, man, I ain't messing with it. That gave me more clarification. I can't celebrate these things. But yeah, man, that was the first thing. Let me ask you, Ben, you there?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm handling something real quick. 1 second.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, man, that was my testimony for And I always used to notice, man, like around this time of year, either people was like super excited, or they just wasn't, or they just was super depressed. You get, like I was just saying, and that's why you can't be like you are the rest of the year. So that just let me know that this time of the year was super, like, it was super spiritual. Like I want to say, you have good spiritual, you have bad spiritual. So it was a lot of spirits going on. But yeah, that's it, man.
Right, and that goes, as you say, that goes with what I was just reading about the pagan book of days, when it was saying that, what did it say? It said something about the spiritual. Okay, it said the element existed between matter and spirit. So that shows that it's some type of spirit attached to this stuff. While we waiting on Ben, though, let me get something, because you said the heathens don't learn the way of the heathen. So I'm gonna get the definition for the heathens, just to show people what it means for those who don't know. Yeah, this is the definition of the heathen: a person who does not belong to a widely held religion, especially one who is not a Christian, Jew, or Muslim, as regarded by those who do. So look at that. Look at the similarities. Pagans, infidel, idolater, idolatress, unbelievers, non-believers. So basically, a heathen is a non-believer of the Most High in his ways that He set up there. They are idolaters. That's why in that Jeremiah 10 that you were just reading, the heathens, what was they doing? They was setting up an idol, a tree, and they was decking it with silver and gold. Well, they pagans. Pagans are non-believers. So yeah, I just wanted to get that real quick because a lot of people really don't even know what a heathen is. They'll use the word, but they never knew what it was. So yeah, they non-believers. They're idolaters. They everything that's against the Most High, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's to people,
Yeah.
people that might say, you know, you guys are just, you know, you being over the top. You know, they're just innocent holidays where we all come together. Just think about as children how aggressive the agenda was to push it on us. Or we had to color things that was associated with the holidays, or you had to go, you know, do assignments according to these holidays, or you know, you had to get in that spirit. I remember vividly traditions that we had in I don't know if it was all over, but I know in Detroit specifically around Halloween we had something called Devil's Night. You know what I'm saying? That's self-explanatory. I mean, what would somebody do on Devil's Night? And specifically on this night, you know, you would have a lot of lawlessness to the point where they would have to hire volunteers to drive around with little sirens flashing on top of their car to control the neighborhoods or play security, because many people would go out, they would do arson, they would, you know, burn down houses, you know, mostly abandoned houses, but then it got to people just burning down houses, period. You know, you had people going out stealing, robbing, doing all type of stuff, and this was called Devil's Night. So you know, it's not a conspiracy at all. You know, you had a lot of satanic things going on, and also when you look at it, I'm gonna wait until we get to that part as far as the ritualistic things and all that.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, while you brought that out, I got the history of Devil's Night. You want me to throw that on right quick? Is we already right there?
Yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead, bring that out.
All right. Yeah.
Bring it out.
All right. Okay, give me 2 seconds. They're used.
October 30th, the night before Halloween. It's a night known to many as Mischief Night, a night where kids pull pranks on their towns like egging cars, TPing houses, and much more depending on the part of the world they're in. But in Detroit, Michigan, this night is known as something much more dangerous and destructive, Devil's Night, where gangs of arsonists would set fire to hundreds of buildings all over town. Why does this happen the night before Halloween? Why is the night celebrated by young pranksters and destructive criminals? To start off, we must first acknowledge that Mischief Night being on the 30th is actually not that old of a tradition compared to Halloween itself. This is because mischief and misbehavior have been associated with Halloween since the days of Samhain. Specifically, given the topic at hand, the 31st was seen as a night when the spirits of the dead and other supernatural beings would roam free in our world, haunting us and playing tricks on us. So the ancient Celts would disguise themselves and leave offerings in an attempt to keep the evil spirits at bay. Over time, after All Hallows Eve was co-opted by the church, children basically began adopting the roles of the mischievous creatures the ancient Celts were protecting themselves from. This not only fused with what would become trick-or-treating, but also with the trick part. Like many other Halloween traditions, this too was brought over when the Irish and Scottish immigrants settled in America in the late 1800s and was fairly quickly adopted by other American children. For a while, kids would go out and pull pranks on the townfolk during Halloween, but when trick-or-treating became more popular, most kids ceased their Halloween pranks in favor of dressing up in costumes and asking for candy. This led to parents believing that trick-or-treating was what stopped Halloween pranks, but this isn't actually true, as even today there are occasionally those kids who skip trick-or-treating in order to play pranks instead. This mostly happens in parts of the country where the locals are unfamiliar with Mischief Night, so they do every rebellious prank on Halloween like the goblins did in ancient times. But more importantly, most of these young pranksters just moved their night of mischief to the night before Halloween. Pull tricks on one night, get treats on the other. Tricks and treats. Meanwhile, in the UK, Mischief Night was moved to November 4th, after Halloween and All Souls Day. Some historians believe that the pranks becoming more intense in the last century were the result of stress from the Great Depression and then the Second World War after it. Whether that was the reason for the increase in pranks or not, that tradition has stuck from generation to generation of kids who use this night, the night before Halloween, as an excuse to misbehave. And so it has been for nearly a century. Although most pranks pulled on Mischief Night are relatively harmless, the night has taken a darker and more violent turn in other parts of the country over the years. This is where Devil's Night comes in, a night more associated with violence and destruction. During the Salem witch trials of the late 1600s, Devil's Night was used as a night to coordinate several witch hunts before any supposed witches could use their magic on the townfolk on Halloween. Then, in the 1960s, Devil's Night got its darker association from a night in Detroit, Michigan when anti-police riots led to opportunists setting fire to several buildings in the city. Even though the riot that led to the fires took place in the summer of 1967, not even close to October, the string of arson continued annually every October 30th for decades. The fires were carried out by local gangs that had nothing to do with any kind of civil rights cause or organized rebellion. For them, it was simply a night to cause damage for the sake of causing damage. This annual arson epidemic was used as the setting for the 1994 cult classic movie The Crow, in which the arsonists were used as the main villains. More recently, Detroit has taken action to put a stop to the gang-related vandalism, including asking a large group of thousands of volunteers to keep watch for any attempts at crime on this night. But even now, the threat of Devil's Night remains very real. Halloween tends to get a negative reputation from people because of nights like this. It is a sincere hope of this channel that such violent acts on Mischief Night are ended. There is little that can be done to stop kids from pulling pranks involving toilet paper and eggs with or without Halloween. But as a community, let's do what we can to keep Devil's Night down to just Mischief Night. And remember what really makes Halloween special. A night for respecting the dead and telling scary stories. And eating too much candy. Thank you for watching this Halloween history video. Check out some of our previous history videos and remember to live Halloween.
Man, they call that thing Mischief Night. Sound like
Man, I remember they used to be going on here in Detroit like a mug though when I was younger. Like, man, they used to be burning down almost a whole community on them nights. Man, Detroit got some dark history, boy. I remember that stuff.
want to bring some.
Y'all talking about Devil's Night, huh? What they call Devil's Night.
Yep.
Hey, that was
Right.
a Detroit thing, right? That wasn't all over the country, right?
I'm not sure. They
I don't
did
know.
mention Detroit.
kept
They
saying
did mention
Detroit,
Detroit in the video.
Right.
It could have been a Detroit thing, but I think overall it probably was a. I'm sure Detroit didn't just catch a hold of it, but you know, something. I have to look it up. Yeah, you had something you want to bring out, Ben?
No, I'm sitting back for a second, man. Y'all go ahead. I'm a ride y'all wave.
Okay. So yeah, man. So another thing that I noticed around these times that was very common was and now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to look back at it. Was a lot of missing children around this time of year. A lot of missing children in America. Predominantly, a lot of children go missing. In fact, I just want to bring this report out. It says in the United States, an estimated, actually this is globalmissingkids.org, just but it said in the United States, an estimated 460,000 children are reported missing every year. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, this is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the numbers that they brought out. So that's 460,000 on record, you know. So it could be more, you know, but that's how many that they're reporting that go missing every year. That's not, you know, that's not a mistake. You don't just lose 450,000 children, you know. That's a, you know, and I wanted to ask y'all, you know, do y'all think that it's a connection between these holidays and these times of year with these children going missing? Because I think in Ohio, which I got one of the videos in Cleveland, I think it was, man, matter of fact, you had to play the video. Can you let me see if I can play it right quick. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm about to say you should be able to play it.
Okay. Present. Share screen. Yeah, I'm about to try to share it. Y'all go ahead, talk right quick. I'm just about to see.
Yeah. In that last video they were showing, or that was just played, they said something that was key too. It basically broke down the origin of why people dress up as goblins or whatever, because it was saying that during this time of year, the other world, the gates be open to the darker world, or the other world, the underworld, whatever that's here. And the Jews or the Celtics or whoever it was at that time feared that when goblins or whatever came during that time would mess with them, so they would dress up and look like them. And yeah, they basically dress up and disguise themselves as a goblin as well, just to try not to be messed with. And they have candy and stuff to offer, or whatever treat they had to offer, just to be like a buy their way through this situation. But that's what people got to understand. That's where the origin of dressing your child or dressing yourself up comes from, is that ideology right there. When people believe that the dark world will open up the gates during that time and the goblins will come in this realm. And you know what? I probably don't know if that's, because it be some dark stuff happening during that.
I don't know if that's my I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. Is this my is it my internet that sounded like it's
like
in and
outside
out?
wind or something? No, I think that's just what it is. It's a lot going on, you know. Stuff scrolling down the bottom of the screen, all of us on here. But it's cool though. We can keep scrolling. You know, it's good. But yeah, I was just basically saying that's how they broke down the history of why people dress up like they do and give out candy and stuff. You know. Yeah, man. Like Coach do that, I'm gonna ask Dominique the same question you asked me. Like, how long it been since you celebrated these holidays, and what changed you from celebrating?
So hold up, I can't really. I don't know if it's me or my end. I can't really hear you, but I can hear Tez though. But I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know if my internet's still tripping or what.
He was asking you how long, basically. What led you to stop us? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, he's asking you basically what led you to stop celebrating holidays, and how long have you stopped celebrating? You know.
Well, holidays, period. But let me just say Halloween real quick. Halloween, I never really celebrated ever. You know, back in the day when I was little or something, you know, probably I never liked scary movies. I never liked scary nothing, you know. That wasn't never my thing. So Halloween, never. I never had my children celebrate it, none of that. I used to love Christmas. I used to love Thanksgiving. I used to love 4th of July, only because I had no understanding concerning the origin of those traditions. I had no understanding concerning the origins of those traditions. So it was just a family time to me. It was like, man, barbecue on 4th of July. Man, we about to have a good old time with the drinks and the, being just happy around each other, Thanksgiving, same thing, just a wintertime situation of the summer, uh, 4th of July type of situation. But then Christmas, the gifts and all of that, it's a feeling you get around that time of the year, So Easter, I didn't never like Easter. Easter, I never really had a attachment to Easter. So when I was an adult, I never celebrated it. My children, I probably used to go get them matter of fact, I ain't never went and got my children no basket. My wife did, and stuff like that, Easter baskets and things of that sort. So that was never a thing that I personally dealt with, those holidays, but it was a couple that I did. Now, when I gained understanding concerning the origin of those holidays, when I began to find out how wicked they were, and that children are sacrificed on those days, and I began to hate those days. I threw the Christmas tree out the house. I threw that mug in a dumpster. As soon as the tree, the lights, the ornaments, everything Christmas, I threw everything out. You know how you had those acorns in the house that smell like cinnamon? Man, I had them joints. I threw them joints out. I threw everything out when I found out how wicked it was and that children was being sacrificed. Thanksgiving, the same thing. My family, they was disappointed because they couldn't see the children no more on those days, but they could see them any other day. But they was really disappointed about not seeing them on those traditional days. But so I would say maybe about 8 years ago, it's been about 8 years since I celebrated those days. Yeah, and that's why I came into the understanding of the origin of those traditions.
So y'all brothers telling me like, so say like Thanksgiving come around, right? So y'all don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Let's say you smell that good home cooking from your auntie house, man. You smell that good turkey, that good dressing, that mac and cheese. You know what I'm saying? You see that, man, you see that good food on that table. You tell me you're not gonna eat that food, man?
Nope.
How about to say I wouldn't either. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I ain't eating that drunk either.
Nah, I ain't eating. And a lot of people be mad about that. They'll be offended by that. But I'd rather offend man than the Most High.
Exactly. Interesting. Oh, somebody bid you to the feast, you wouldn't go?
If somebody bid me to the feast, I wouldn't go. That's what you saying?
Would you go?
Well,
yeah, would you go if somebody bid you to a feast? That's what
it depends. And I see that's a thing right there, because I understand. I know where you going. You going to the brother Paul and his writings. Now that's a situational thing right there for me. You know what I'm saying? That's a situational thing because, and I say that because we ain't supposed to eat nothing sacrificed to idols. We ain't supposed to deal with nothing sacrificed to idols, man. When you read Revelation, the 2nd chapter, Christ told us that Jezebel would convince, the people to eat things sacrificed to idols. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to deal with Jezebel. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, that's a situational thing. All right. It's a situational thing when it comes to that. If I come over there, I catch people like what the Muslims do with the halal. When they get to cutting up the meat and they start praying over it, they sacrificing it to their God at that point, and I don't want to deal with that food. Or like the Jewish people do when they trying to pray over it, that kosher prayer. and that type of situation. I'm not dealing with it. You know, yeah. So when I get to see people doing rituals over the food, then I'm not dealing with it. So that's why I say it's a situational thing. That's for me personally.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Just for edification purposes, I agree with you. What about you, Ted?
You asked me the same question. Would I partake in it?
Yeah. Well, not partaking, but
I'm,
if somebody like, what if your mom say, "Come on over, bring the kids over"? Would you come over? Like, if somebody bid you to the feast, would you come over? And I'm gonna say it like this: y'all ain't even got to eat. What if it's an opportunity to reach out to some people? You know what I'm saying?
me personally, I would come, man, because I would come because it'll allow me to be around my. I think at this point in my walk, I can be able to to stay away from the things that I don't want to go against the Most High. So a lot of the prayer that they do and stuff, I wouldn't partake in. But as far as bringing my children, I
Exactly.
wouldn't bring my children, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because to my children, if I'm teaching them everything that's against that activity, and then I'm bringing them around that, that's kind of like confusing to them. But me,
Exactly.
of course, I know better, so I wouldn't. I can come, not to, because a lot of our parents, they, oh, baby, I just want you. I know you believe this. I just want you to be around, So it could be an opportunity for me to be around my parents, well, my mom, and and she might ask a question like, hey, why don't you do this, by the way? And it might be a teaching moment. You know what I'm saying? So, and of
Right.
course, now,
Exactly.
yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't let my kids partake in that though. But you brothers, man, y'all sound like,
Right.
what y'all sound like. Y'all sound like, what's them guys called? Them extremist brothers. Them black, was it black Israelite, black Hebrew Israelites.
What you talking about?
Y'all,
Hey,
y'all sound
Oh,
like
the
them
black
brothers.
Hebrew,
They be on
the black
them
Hebrew
brothers be
Israelites.
standing on them corners yelling, man.
hey, look though. It's so important. It's so important what you said though when you just said that you wouldn't bring your kids, man. That's the most important thing you said right now. And I'm gonna tell you why. First off, it's the title, child sacrifice to traditions, right? That's what we tend to do as parents. We don't even realize it. Now, if okay, yeah, like you said, at the point you at in your walk, you able to decipher good from evil in your walk. You know what I'm saying? But the children, they not, right? So they just really following by example. So when they see us doing things as an example, that's a teaching moment. That's them learning from us. So now we telling them don't deal
Exactly.
with Christmas, Thanksgiving, but yet we take them over to the house when our family over there doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? And then we steady telling them that it's wrong and we shouldn't do it. What we think they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? It ain't
Exactly.
doing nothing but passing down a generational curse to your children. You sacrificing them to that God. Because why? They gonna see all the family around, having a good time, loving each other, eating the food and drinking and having it, opening presents and doing all of these things, popping off fireworks or whatever, Easter egg hunting or whatever. And they're gonna attribute the way they feel to that tradition. And it's gonna be instilled in them. Man, that's what you said right there, you know, that was huge. Yeah, I wouldn't bring my children around. Even if I was to go,
Yeah.
like I was saying earlier, if I was to go and because I was bid to a feast and I don't want to offend nobody or something like that. Yeah, nah, my children ain't coming. Not at all.
Right. Uh,
Yeah.
for sure. I agree with both of y'all. Hey, I'm on you with both of y'all. All right. The second part to my question is, what if they be like, well, we all heard this. We all hear this one. It's about the family. We don't celebrate it from what that origin is. We do it because it's about family. What y'all say about that?
Reclaiming the name, putting the name of Jesus on it. Huh? I guess I go. Man, a lie is a lie, bro. And you know,
Yeah.
I honor my mother and my father. I honor my mother, number one, my mother and my father. But a lie is a lie, man. We teach our kids not to lie, but then we tell them a big fat white dude dressed up in red and white just went in your living room, knowing you ain't got no chimney. You stay in a two bedroom apartment. You telling me that this white man just came in here overnight and put these presents under this tree? You know what I'm saying? So we are already brought up in you know, a mentally dysfunctional situation. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it don't add up. So once you start growing up, I learned that these things wasn't real in school. It was elementary school. I remember it. I overheard kids talking about it, like, yeah, Santa Claus ain't real. I'm thinking like, huh? What are you talking about? You know, my mom be telling me, you know, she put the cookies out. Cookies be gone in the morning. She say, you know, Santa Claus came and ate it. He left the, you know, the gifts behind. So I went home and, you know, low key kind of confronted my mom, like, hey, mom, I heard these kids, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, yeah, you know, it ain't real, you know. But of course, at that time, she was just, you know, she was just doing what she knew, you know, what everybody else was doing. But once I learned that, I was like, man, that's when I started to question everything, man. Everything that I was told, I was questioning. Or I looked at everything as a lie, you know. So a lot of times we wonder why our kids are so rebellious. And it's look at the environment or the system that you're bringing them up in. We lying to them, you know. We got to be honest with these kids, and that's why the title is Child Sacrifice to Tradition. These traditions, you know, start off with a lot of with our children. You know, we passing it right down to our children. But yeah, that's what I say on
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
man.
basically say the same thing. Like,
What you say?
you say what, Dominique? No, I was basically saying, I was agreeing because, like he was saying,
Oh,
like, we all heard that it's about family. It's not about what they celebrated for. It's about family. And like he said, a lie is a lie. Woe to them who call evil good and good evil. You 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 can't call an evil day good. I remember a brother told me, it's the significance of it. It's not about what they were taught us. It's the significance of it. But what's so significant about Halloween, Devil's Night, Thanksgiving when people was getting murdered? What's the significance of that? You can't make something good out of that wicked day. You can't. So when our people say that it's about family, that's false, you know. And they used to, like, hey, we know they used the women to draw the man and the kids in because they emotionally attached to that stuff. I want my babies to have a good time. You know, I want my family to be together eating this porridge, this ham with the glaze on it, with the pineapple on the butt. Like, like Ted said, a lie is a lie. You know, so yeah, you can go ahead, Dominique, and expound on it.
yeah, no. Yeah, that's how they get you, man. That's how they get you. They try to, you know, after they find out that you ain't dealing with it, it don't matter what knowledge, what information you bring to them to show them, like, hey, this ain't righteous. The Most High God, He don't like this. We can show them left and right all day. Soon as they ain't got nowhere to go and they cornered, they say, well, it's about the kids. Oh, well, what about how the kids gonna feel about you throwing away that Christmas tree? You know what I'm saying? How the kids gonna feel about not being able to dye no Easter eggs? You know what I'm saying? Things of that sort. That's what they do. That's how they get you. They try to play on the heartstrings once they see that you won't budge. And yeah, right, true. A lie is a lie. It was built on it. Most of these holidays was built on things that most Christians can't even fathom. They wouldn't even believe. They don't believe. When you bring them the truth, they be like, nah. And then the ones that do believe, they just go on with the flow, man. Yeah, nah, it's leading your children to the fire. That's what it's doing. And that's and when they try to play on your heartstring, when they try to play on your heartstrings with the, oh, it's for the kids. Yeah, I know it's for the kids. That's why we not doing it. It's to deceive the kids. That's why we not doing it. You know?
Right.
And that's
Right.
what I say about that. I ain't in the business of deceiving these children, because these children got to grow up and be leaders. and you know, once they adults and they done grew up with a lie, that's all they got is that lie, and they gonna regurgitate that lie on the world, and it's gonna stay the same. That same curse gonna stay there. So somebody got to break the curse and tell the truth. If my kids be miserable because they can't do what all the rest of the world doing, so be it. At least I told them the truth. So
Yeah.
that's why I stand.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me pull up something.
You said
on
something
that
key
that
right
y'all
there.
brought up.
All right, go ahead and do that. I'm about to pull this video out because Dominique said
No, go
something
ahead.
key
No, go
right
ahead.
there
Bring
real
it.
quick. He
Go
said
ahead. I
that.
was just.
Okay. All right. He said that you leading your children straight to the fire, and that's perfect for this video that is about to come out. And the title of it is Child Human Sacrifice to the Sun God, a Pagan Origin of Christmas. Fair use.
Pagan Origins of Christmas, Part 1. Child Human Sacrifice to the Sun God. Now, the God of the Bible hates the shedding of innocent blood. Innocent blood refers to children. God has no pleasure in the death of people or their destruction. God said in his word to choose life, not death. Notice Proverbs 6:16 through 19.
Everything good?
These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Notice it didn't say dislike, it says hate.
We good? We good?
Remember, God is
Yeah, it's
love.
good.
And here, these
Making
6
sure we moving and
things
grooving.
love hates.
What are we trying to get a video out
Yea,
there?
7 are an abomination unto him.
Yeah, it's
Or the
playing
7th
right
is
now.
the main abomination unto him.
Oh, I can't even see. Oh, my bad.
You don't see the video?
I'm tripping. My fault. Yeah, my fault. Let me
Yeah, I
mute.
see it.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. So the shedding of innocent blood, the roots of Christmas was child sacrifices to the sun god, the S-U-N, sun god. All right, let's get more into the scriptures. Notice now Isaiah. Well, actually, I'm jumping the gun. Let's go to Amos, then we'll go to Isaiah. All right, Amos 5, we'll read verse 15, 21, and 23. It says, hate the evil, again, hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that the Lord of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. And Joseph, his 2 sons got the name Israel. Drop down verse 21. The Lord says, I will not smell of your solemn assemblies. All right, the Lord hates Joseph's feasts and holy days. So the Lord hates. Okay, so I'm not.
Okay, that's what I wanted to get right there to show how the Most High hate these days that don't have nothing to do with him. He despised that. And you know, people come together and they start praying in the name of God and Jesus or whatever to these days that's wicked and think they gonna be blessed and they food gonna be blessed. And then it comes to a point to where excuse me, it comes to a point to where you have these church leaders and every other religious leader that teaches deception. The Bible ain't deception, but the teachers are. And they'll take certain words and be like, and here's the example, they'll take certain words like, see, there go Thanksgiving right there. And say, be thankful for all Thanksgiving. And then try to turn around and tell people to celebrate Thanksgiving. The Most High hate them days. The Most High is not dealing with that stuff. And yeah, that's just what I wanted to get with that. I really wanted the other video. I thought this was part 2. That's part 1. I don't really want to get dude trying to teach or whatever, but you know, it just showing certain scripts. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, man, the Bible used to be a respected source as the standard to level out, you know, what was good or bad. But now people are, you know, second guessing that, you know. But you know, basically, if you can show that the Bible says, you know, it condemns the activity, people will be like, okay, it's nothing to argue about. But now they question the Bible altogether. But I wanted to speak on what Ben was saying when he was saying, you know, a lot of our people when they're confronted with the truth, you know, a lot of them, when you corner them in, they, you know, I noticed they say a lot of things like, oh, well, you got your belief and I got my belief, you know what I'm saying? Or they'll say, oh, you can't judge, you know, things like that. So, but I wanted to show a video, if I could, real fast. Let's see if this works. Yeah, let me show this video of an example of what they do when they try to, you know, wiggle around when you provide them with truth. Let me present, share screen. All right. Let's see if this thing works. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Loud and clear.
Bet. All right, there we go, right there.
Hey, how y'all hear me though? Y'all hear me well?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, cool.
Let me know if you can hear it. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, I just added to the stage. I don't hear nothing yet.
All right. Can you hear it now? Is it playing?
I'm gonna have to play it. Dang. I don't know why it's
All
doing
right.
it. It's playing, but the volume ain't coming through. What is it, Dr. Phil? What?
Dr. Phil, woman doesn't celebrate Christmas or any other holidays.
Okay, cool. Okay. Let me get that for you right quick.
So I'm gonna stop sharing.
Hey, why y'all pulling that up, man? Let me just say something, man. To a degree, after so long, after so many times, now I don't, we got to put this out there only because we understand it, right? But But after so many times of saying the same thing over and over, man, to a degree, it kind of become a burden. Like, man, I still got to keep saying this. But the truth is, man, there's so many people out there that really just haven't got this understanding. You know what I'm saying? They haven't heard it. Now we spoke to a lot of people, man, through this however many years we done been enlightened with this understanding. We spoke to a whole lot of people, man. And those people who just don't want to hear, hey, we wiped off the dust of we kicked off the dust of our shoes. We're not dealing with those people no more. Either the Most High going, water that seed and bring that plant up. That's all we do is plant the seed and move on. And that's what we here to do today. We're not trying to beat nothing through nobody's brain or nothing. If you heard us bring this forth before and you rejected it before, just click off, roll on. This is for somebody else. All right. If don't come on here talking no, hey man, we heard this, y'all brothers keep saying it. Nah, man. If you don't want to hear it, that's on you. Just roll out. We men of the Most High, and we have the understanding to bring this forth, so we must do it. Because, hey, there's plenty of people out here besides yourself who haven't heard this. All right? Let us do our job.
Exactly.
That's all I wanted to say.
Well said. Well said. All right, I'm about to get that video for you, Tez.
All right.
Hey, mute your mic too, Tez, while it's playing so the static won't come through or whatever the background noise is. It sounds like it's outside or something.
All right.
A definition of normal. And my definition of normal is whether something is disrupting your life or not. That's how you tell something's normal. If it's not disrupting your life, then it's not really abnormal if it's working for you. Now, Shalita wrote to me because she refuses to celebrate the holidays, any holidays. Now, several years ago, she decided that they were just excuses to spend money. She doesn't understand why her family just won't accept her choice.
Dear Dr. Phil, my family is so mad at me about my views on certain holidays. I am tired of defending my stance on not celebrating Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, and Halloween to my family, especially my sister Akia. 8 years ago, I realized the truth behind these hell days, and now my family ridicules me about my choice not to celebrate or let my 6-year-old daughter celebrate either. First of all, according to my research, Christmas is a pagan holiday. Jesus wasn't even born on the 25th of December. Easter is another pagan holiday. Thanksgiving, great. Let's celebrate the slaughter of Native Americans. Valentine's Day is a purely sexual holiday, and Halloween is worshiping the dead. Christ would really appreciate that. I have no problem with documenting holidays like Hanukkah, but these other make me sick. I get sick to my stomach when I see decorations or have people wish me a happy this or a merry that. I wish more people would realize the truth. Dr. Phil, can you please help my sister understand that not celebrating these holidays is my choice? By humbug, Shalita.
All right, now we have Shalita's sister, Akia, on the phone, and she totally disagrees with her sister's views. Okay, so what do you think's going on here? I'm going to ask you in a minute, but tell me what you think's going on here.
I think she's just cheap because if you buy her a gift, she'll accept it. If she was so into not celebrating Christmas, she would turn it down, or she would tell me no, my daughter can't come over your house to spend the pagan holiday with you.
No, I'm broke. I'm not cheap. And if I had the money and I celebrated it, I would buy gifts. But even if I had $1 million, because I don't celebrate Christmas, I'm not going to buy anybody anything.
If you're so big on not celebrating it, why do you let her come over to my house to celebrate it?
It was one day. It was one day, one time, because you asked me, and I felt bad, so I let her go that one time.
She's coming again this Christmas.
You don't know that.
What's your problem with holidays, for example? You said you got your daughter and you told her the truth.
Yes.
About Christmas.
And my nephews and all other small children.
Told the other family members' children too.
So you got in between other children and their parents.
They asked me.
You told. And so what is the truth?
Well, okay, I did some research on these holidays, and I found out that Christmas has nothing to do with Christ at all. It's all about the worshiping of a sun god. During the time when Constantine was converting pagans into Christians, the pagans didn't want to let go of their celebrations. So what they did to compromise was they married the two. They took pagan festivals and Christian doctrine and put them together.
That was in the 4th century.
But it doesn't matter, because if we lived during the 4th century and we call ourselves Christians, like the early Christians did, we would not have celebrated it.
Let me tell you what I think the truth is about Christmas. Do I think it's about a fat man running around the world dropping off toys? No, I got that busted for me last year, I think. But can't you let your children enjoy
Life.
the festivities of the holidays, the music, the spirit of kind of giving and family and being together? I mean, it doesn't have to be whether it's a pagan origin or a Christian origin or there's a real Santa Claus.
Now, now this is what they do. They come in here with that. Let the children do this, that, etc. Blah blah blah. It don't matter if it was about pagans or it don't matter if it was about Christians or whatever. It's about the kids. This is exactly what we was just talking about.
Or you believe it was Christ's birthday or whatever. I mean, can you not find a way to fold this into the current world?
Absolutely not. Because to me, it's a form of Satanism. If anybody knows anything about pagans, they didn't believe in Christ. They didn't believe in God. So would you let your children go to a seance and conjure up spirits? Of course not.
You hate Valentine's Day.
That's another pagan holiday. I mean, it's as simple as going to your Encyclopedia Britannica, looking up Valentine's Day, and it'll tell you everything. This is not my opinion; these are facts. And if Christ was around, he would completely disagree with all these celebrations.
Well, do you believe that these holidays are what we name them to be for ourselves?
No,
I mean, they can become totally dominated by the marketing machine and become completely commercialized, or they can be religious observances, or they can be family observances where you ritualistically get together and share time. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be one definition or this definition or this definition. I don't believe in like over commercializing Christmas. I don't believe that it has to be just a religious observance. I think there are a lot of different ways that we can define these for ourselves.
Well, but it is a religious observance, and I like to say that you can't turn pus into pudding. You can't change something into a good thing because it was never intended that way.
Okay, let me ask you this: if I get together with my family this Christmas, if my 82-year-old mother comes here and spends the holidays with us, and our children who are grown and outside the home come and spend rare time with their parents, and you're saying that's a pus-filled holiday?
Yes, I think that those who understand the meaning of the true meaning of Christmas and continue to do it, your soul's going to be judged. This is going out to the people who are afraid during Judgment Day.
It sounds like this sister know more than what she putting out, though. You know what I'm saying? That broadcast was ahead of its time.
Who are afraid to be sent to the hellfire. If you're just if you're an atheist, if you're just doing it for traditions, then I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those who have a religious responsibility to lead the people, and I don't believe that they are leading the people correctly.
I just totally blatantly disagree.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that as a child that I didn't enjoy these things because I did, and I couldn't wait to get older to pass it on to my children. But I got to stand up for righteousness. What's right? What's more important, the happiness of my child or making God happy?
Well, are you wicked? Are you wicked and ruined because you celebrate that as a child?
Well, no, because that wasn't something I did.
Well, would your daughter be wicked and ruined if she were allowed to celebrate as a child?
Well, no, because as a child, you're not even responsible for your sins. Once you get older and have an understanding, it's your duty to do what's right. Everything that's fun isn't right.
And you have the choice because you're the mother and you can do what you want with the child. But I would really hope that you would kind of take a deep breath and ask yourself if there is a way for you to define some experiences for your child so that they don't miss the joy and festivity and celebration of some of these holidays. But because somebody in the fourth century defined something does not tell me how I define it now. And that's what you have to that's what you have to do. You have that choice, and it is your right. And I'm not telling you you're wrong. I would just hope that you would try to find a way that your daughter wasn't excluded from a lot of the joy of life that she might miss because of that position.
We celebrate New Year's. That's pretty fun. You know, we can do that. There's no religious stipulations behind that. So,
yeah, well, there are religious stipulations behind what you put the religious stipulations behind. So
okay.
that's up to you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Next, for most people,
Yeah, that brother was. Hey, Dr. Phil was just as worse as the dang old women on that one. What about the babies? What about the babies? But he wasn't doing nothing but the works of Satan. Dr. Phil wasn't doing nothing but the works of Satan because that girl, the whole time she's saying it's a sin, your spirit will be judged, this, that, etc., blah, blah, blah. Forget all that. He kept trying to push that junk like, look, what about the girl having fun? What about your daughter having fun? What about this, that, etc.? I know this ain't that part of the broadcast yet, but I just want to get this one scripture real quick. But this all I see with Dr. Phil when he was just doing that. This all I kept seeing was this right here. 2 Corinthians chapter 11:14. It say no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as a minister of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. So that's what I seen with Dr. Phil. He trying to be this angel of light to this girl who already got light in her. She trying to put light on them and they in darkness. So Dr. Phil tried to come with what he doing. Now he become that minister that was transformed as well, trying to put some type of righteousness out there, whatever he trying to do. But that's all I kept saying was this 2 Corinthians when Dr. Phil was just talking. That sister, she know more than what she was putting on too. That broadcast was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
That broadcast was ahead of its time.
Yeah, I chose that video because it was right on point as far as what Ben was saying about when you present the truth to a lot of people, you know, the different ways they try to slip out of that. You know, and now, man, they got these sorcerers, man, psychologists and psychology, and you know, I believe Dr. Phil is a psychologist. You know, they try to play mind games. They try to, you know, manipulate reality. Like, oh, let's just say we're all not even sitting here right now. Let's just say we're on the beach and we're just, you know what I'm saying? They like to play with your mind. You know what I'm saying? You can be sitting there and saying, hey, that's the Bible says that's wicked. He'd be like, oh, but let's just say hypothetically, you know, they good at doing stuff like that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Dr. Phil is straight up warlock, man. You see his wife, man, she looked like the wicked witch of the west and the east. You know what I'm saying? Man, they straight warlocks, man. They witches and warlocks, man. Straight up, man. Ain't no getting around them. Dr. Phil came up under Oprah, a known witch.
Yep.
You know, that's how they get down, man. That's why they cool with these holidays, because it empowers the guys that they worshiping. And in turn, since they guys is being empowered, they being empowered. You know, so they loving it. Of course, they gonna try to convince you to continue in them pagan worships.
So much we can break down in this.
That's what he was doing too, trying to
things running around my head.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, check it out though. And I know I just ruffled a few feathers out there to a lot of people out there because a lot of sisters, a lot of women my mother's age, you know, a lot of those women, man, they look up to Oprah and they don't think Oprah can do no wrong. Some of them still think Oprah is a righteous a righteous vessel or something. You know what I'm saying? Oprah a witch. Oprah ain't, and we got videos, plenty video out there that we can go to and show how Oprah get down. You know what I'm saying? And Oprah is the one that vouched for who they call Dr. Phil, so-called Dr. Phil, to come in. They call him Doctor, I call him Warlock Phil. You know what I'm saying? To come on and have his own show and tell people who are righteously, just like the sister they had on there. Remember that sister on his show? Remember that sister Angela, and I forget her name, her last name, Angela something, man. She was running for governor down there, I think in Atlanta. And she was man, I forget her name, Angela something, Angela Stanton, man. She got a son, and you know she did some time in prison, man. When she get out of prison, she get out of prison, and her son out here acting like he a girl, you know. And he go on the Dr. Phil's show with his mother, and Dr. Phil on there telling his mother she wrong for telling him he a boy. You know, that's sorcery. You know. So, but yeah, I'm moving away from the topic. I don't want to do that.
Nah, it's all in the same. It's all in the same thing, man. That's what I was thinking about. There's so many lanes you can go with this, and now that we're talking about so much, I'm thinking about so much. When you was talking about Dr. Phil is a warlock and they into sorcery and all that. Man, a lot of this stuff, and all this ties in with like sacrifice, missing children, all this stuff ties in together. When you look at a lot of these industry people, not just Hollywood, you know, a lot of these industries, they all tie into the same type of things. If they want to get a certain status level, or if they want to, you know, be successful in a lot of these industries, they go to a lot of these people called warlocks. And like you see like Meek Mills and the Jay-Z's and the Beyoncé's and Rihanna's, they go to certain people like Rick Rubin, and I forgot that lady that had the horns and all that stuff that was hanging out with all them people. Yeah, they go to these high level sorcerers, and they, you know, they do these sacrifices and they do these certain ritualistic practices to get, you know, like I said, they get high status in these industries. And that ties in with you know, that ties in with the topic too, because you know we going into child sacrifice and missing children and things like that. But yeah, that ties in with that.
Hey, bro, I don't think people really know how prevalent that is, though, man.
Hey, Ben, I'm about to bring that picture up you just.
Huh? What you say?
Nah, I was about to say I'm about to bring that picture up you just sent. Go ahead.
Oh, you can bring it in.
I'm about to bring that picture up you sent.
Yeah, you can bring it in while I'm speaking. But yeah, that's prevalent in our world today, man. In our world today, that's prevalent, man. And a lot of times people don't even realize, man, it's people out here. It's people out here that live next door to you. That, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what type of oath these people done took. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how they living. A lot of times people get in these societies, they had to, you know, get in by some sort of ritual they had to do into these societies. And bro, when they get in these things, hey, they subject to whoever running it. So whatever they got to do, they gonna do to maintain whatever status that they receive from this this secret organization that they dealing with. You know, this picture the brother finna pull up though. Let me elaborate on this real quick, because we was just speaking about handing over your child unto the fire, right? And we was also, it was a, we were just speaking, the sister was just speaking about Christmas, right? A lot of people don't even understand the symbolism. And I heard the brother Tez earlier. Tez, you was reading Jeremiah 10, right? I think I heard you reading Jeremiah 10.
Yeah, I was
okay,
reading
yeah.
Jeremiah.
Okay, and it goes into the Christmas tree. Now, the Christmas tree is a Babylonian idol. All right, it comes from Babylon. And on top of the tree, you usually put a star, whether a 5-pointed or a 6-pointed star. Now you see that statue on the right of the picture there, and the one on the bottom. If you look at our thumbnail for this video, this is what you'll see. All right, all of these two idols, these stars, the star of Moloch, the star of Chiun, these stars symbolize child sacrifice. All right, and they go back to a god named Moloch. All right, so when you celebrating Christmas and you put up that Christmas tree, that Babylonian idol, that Nimrod Babylonian idol, and then you put that 5 or 6-pointed star at the top of it, understand that you put that star and that tree symbolizes death. All right, and at the top, the very top, is child sacrifice. Why? Because you sacrificing your child to this God. It's a perpetual curse. It's a perpetual curse. And not only that, while you celebrating Christmas, opening up your gifts, there's a Satanist somewhere sacrificing a child. That's how it's going down. That's how it's going down. Let me read the law real quick. Let me get a scripture out the law. I'm going to Leviticus 20:1. Just real fast, and then I get out the way. Leviticus 20:1 real quick.
Keep rocking, bro.
Look, this Leviticus 20:1. All right. And the Most High spoke unto Moses, saying, again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Moloch, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones, and I shall set my face against that man, and will cut him off from amongst his people, because he hath given his seed unto Moloch, to defile my sanctuary and to profane my holy name. Now, how do we know that star is the star of Moloch? Amos, let me go to Amos 5 real quick. Let me go to Amos 5 real quick. And this got to do with Christmas. All right, these are traditions handed down from our forefathers who were slaves. All right, our people were slaves. We received these traditions from those who enslaved us. All right, we had no understanding of what these things were. Our elders had no understanding of what these things were. It was just an opportunity to get away from their duties as slaves. It was a day off. It was a vacation. So what they do, they begin to bring those things home and pass them down to us, because that's all they had, is the traditions passed down from their captors. But let me read this real quick. Amos 5. All right. All right. 21. Hate, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols. So the Most High is not hearing your Christmas carols. He not hearing your Halloween songs. He not hearing your Thanksgiving. He not hearing your Here Come Peter Cottontail hopping down the bunny trail. He not hearing none of that. The Most High is not hearing it. He said, I will not hear in your melody of your viols, because he hate and despise your feast days. He say, but let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. Have ye offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O Israel? And yes, we have. Now look at 26. But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch and Chiun, your images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves. You see that? So we begin and we begin to deal with these holy days or these holidays, these satanic holidays through slavery. All right. It's been an off and on thing for us as a nation dealing with these traditions. All right. We'll get ourselves together, and then next thing we'll start worshiping and dealing with the Most High, and then next thing you know, somebody bring in the wickedness, and we'll go right back to it. And then the Most High punish us, put us into captivity, and then we be stuck on stupid for a while. Then we get ourselves together and we go right back to it. This how it go down with us.
Good.
All right, but hey, now the Most High is calling us out of these things. He calling us out of these traditions of men. It's time to come out of it, and it's time to come back to the laws of the Most High God and put down these traditions that bring forth these generational curses. All right. So yeah, I wanted to bring that forth real fast.
Hey, that's on point. That's on point. Hey, let me get this heathen definition again, because like how you just brought out with the scripture when it was saying that the Most High not going to hear them solemn assemblies and them songs and smell it, all that stuff. The Most High not going to hear none of that. So this heathen once again.
But I think you brought out that definition.
I know it's just something I want to get real quick.
Oh,
I know.
my
I just
bad.
want to get something real quick. No, you good. You good. Because when you said, and when the scriptures say that the Most High would not hear in those songs and none of that stuff, can y'all see my screen? Can y'all see the definition?
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we see.
Okay. See, right here is what I want to get again. In the similars, you got pagan, infidel, idolater, idolatress, unbelievers, non-believers. So at the end of the day, them pagans, they'll sit there and disguise themselves as Christians and believers, quote unquote, but in reality, they unbelievers. They non-believers. They don't believe in them scriptures. What they believe is in the job that they trying to push, which is this idolatry and this paganism stuff. That's what they believe in. They believe in their father. Look, it say disbeliever. I ain't even clicked this for the first time. It say disbeliever, atheists. That's what they is. Heretics. Look, they heretics. They don't care about what their scriptures say. They gonna try and push what they pushing. So yeah, I just want to get that real fast. I just want to get that real fast and just to go in what you was talking about though.
Hey, that's on
I got
point,
an
bro.
article too. Oh yeah, all praises, all praises.
Hey,
I want to get an
hey,
article
you
too.
see how it all connect, man. How it all connect, man. That's how it go.
Yeah, all praises to the Most High. All praises.
God.
Check this article out. We was just talking about this thing right here in the last screen that you last picture or whatever. The Moloch. There's a little history on Moloch that's to let people know, get a little in depth to let people know what that deity is about. It say the true history of Moloch, the ancient god of child sacrifice. Perhaps no pagan deity was as reviled as Moloch, a god whose cult reportedly sacrificed children in a furnace set inside the belly of a bronze bull. Throughout antiquities, sacrifice might have been utilized in times of great strife, but one cult stands out from the rest of its brutality: the cult of Moloch, the alleged Canaanite god of child sacrifice. So, like me and Tez were talking about earlier, indulging in these these celebrations, what God are you sacrificing your kids to? What God are you sacrificing your kids to? Right here, it's telling you sacrifice it to the Canaanite God. Moloch is the Canaanite God. That's who you sacrificing your kids to. Now it say the cult of Moloch or Molech is said to have boiled children alive in its bowels of a big bronze statue with the body of a man and the head of a bull, offering, at least according to some inscriptions in the Hebrew Bible, were to be reaped through either fire or war. And it's rumored that devotes who is Moloch and who prayed to him. That's just the 18th century depiction of that statue. It say, although historical and
So
archaeological
so
communities still debate Moloch
who prayed
identity.
to him, man?
Huh?
I saw that thing that
Who
said who
prayed to him?
prayed to him.
Exactly.
Who was that?
Yep.
You know, I was gonna say who
Say
prayed to
again.
Moloch. Because the question is right there, you see it
Exactly.
say who is Moloch and who prayed to him. Who prayed to Moloch? What nation? What nation was it? Whose God was Moloch?
Hey, we about to get there right now. Go right back to it. Who God is it? Right here. Look at this. Here you go, right here. A Canaanite god. The
There you go.
Canaanites.
There you go.
Ain't that who Esau, enjoined himself with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So through Esau enjoining himself with the Canaanites, he will bring those traditions to the new world where he started building up at or whatever. And teach those that's in this new world that same traditions, you know? Let's finish
Yeah.
getting some of this history.
You know, you know,
Excuse me. It say, oh,
The
uh-huh.
Ammonites also they also worship Moloch.
Right, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It say, although historical and archaeological communities still debate Moloch's identity and influences, he seems to have been a god of the Canaanites, which was a religious born out of the combination of ancient Semitic faith. What's known about Moloch largely comes from Judaic texts outlawing the worship of him in the writings of ancient Greek and Roman authors. The cult of Moloch is believed to have been practiced by the people of the Levant regions from at least the early Bronze Age. So, check this out. Check this out, y'all. We know in certain groups in this world today, they still doing these practices. Harming these children in certain ways. They still doing these practices. So this the God that they sacrificing them children to, or whatever they doing. Like when we seeing these rappers and all that stuff in this world, we talking about they in a cult. Is this the cult that they in? The cult of Moloch? I don't know. That's just the thought that just came by my head.
Mm.
Yeah,
But it
because
say
It say look at
why
it
would
though.
they
Nah, bro, what you say, bro? Bring it.
No, I was gonna say, why would they be associated with people, women that's dressed up like witches, or dudes that's dressed up like that? You got a dude that's a rapper. He
right.
supposed to be from the street, but he hanging out with this sister that got black. You can, man. I don't know if we can pull up the pictures, but you can tell they into something,
BG.
man. You know what I'm saying? I actually just seen a video of I forgot this dude's name. He's a big YouTube content creator. But no, he was with one of the rappers, I think, like Rich the Kid. He was with one of his entourage, and the dude had a chain on with a symbol on it. And he was like, "Hey, that's the chain. That symbolized this, that. Sacrifice and all this." And he was like, "Oh, he was like, you worship this," and he was like, the rapper was like, "Shh." He put his his finger over his mouth like, "Shh." So a lot of them know exactly what they doing, man. They just sacrificing, making a sacrifice for status or monetary gain. Yeah, so
Exactly. You seen BG when he got out of prison? Who was he around? That white lady. That witch.
Hey,
yeah, that's
yeah, that white woman, one of her dogs named Satan, man. She got 2 dogs.
Yeah.
One named Satan, I forget what the
Yeah.
other one named. 2 black German shepherds. I ain't never seen no all black German shepherds, man. But but yeah, hey, that's what we doing, man. We here to revolutionize the culture. It's time for a revolutionizing of the culture, man, because they claiming hip hop and all of this stuff that we see in entertainment, basketball and all of this stuff, football, they claiming these things as our culture. Nah, we revolutionizing the culture. We changing that. We going back to what we were originally. Let's revolutionize the culture, man, and get back to some righteousness, man, so we can fix these families and build our nation back up, man. That's what it's about. It's about getting away from the traditions and the things that were given to us and told us was our culture, and going back to what we were originally and building from there. That's what it's about. It's time to revolutionize the culture, man. That's what time it is.
Right. Yep. You're absolutely right. All right. Yeah, let me finish reading this. It say, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you good. My bad. I ain't never.
Oh, okay. It say the cult of Moloch is believed to have been practiced by the people of the Levant region from at least the early Bronze Age, and images of his bullish head with a child burning in his belly persist until the medieval times. His name likely derives from the Hebrew word Melech, which usually stands for king. There are also references to Moloch in the ancient Greek translation of the Old Judaic, dates back to the Second Temple period between 516 BC and 70 CE, before the Second Temple of Jerusalem was destroyed by the Romans. What's this? It say, what is this? It say a stone slab in the Tonfet of Salamobo or whatever, which was covered by the vault built in the Roman period. This is one of the Tonfet which sacrifice. Oh, this one of they slabs that they used to sacrifice kids on.
An altar, huh?
That's crazy.
And you said, where is that at?
Yeah, I couldn't remember the word. That exactly. Oh, this it's a stone slab in the top fit of Salambo, which was covered by a vault built in the Roman period. This is one of the Tophet Carthaginians was sacrificed children of. Oh yeah, it's somewhere over there somewhere.
Hey, the crazy thing is, man, is we see all these ancient, we see all this stuff, the old stuff, man. Our people look at these things, these news clippings that we be bringing forth, and these videos and stuff, and they looking at it as though that used to happen. They're not understanding how prevalent it still is to this day. These things are still going down. All right, these holidays weren't, or these traditions and holidays, these things weren't just built on child sacrifice and debauchery. They're still living on through child sacrifice and debauchery. Nothing has changed. They've just went in the dark with it. That's why you have so many secret societies these days. Because the secret is that they sacrificing children and drinking blood. That's the secret. That's the secret. Still going on.
Yeah. man.
I can't remember what
God, what happened?
you still
Hold
still
up, I
reading?
done pushed the wrong button. Hold on, let me get. Nah, yeah, I'm good. I just wanted to bring that out just to touch on what we was on. There's more to
Hey,
that, you
can you
know. Anybody want to get some more of that?
can you go to YouTube for me real quick? This the last little video. I need you to
You
play
say
for
what
me
here?
if you
Can we
can.
what?
Can you go to
Okay.
YouTube right quick and play this last little video? It's called Modern Day Child Sacrifice.
Okay. All right.
Dang, what you just say, man? That just had brought a thought up in me. It's like when I be like kind of tired, I be losing my train of thought sometimes. Like, dang, I had a good being that shit, something, man.
Go over there looking like Quran.
That brother sleep, man.
Getting old, man.
Oh man. Well, okay.
I ain't have my nap for the day.
Hold on, I'm gonna share the screen.
It's that brother doze
Boy
all
had
the
his
time, man.
potassium yet. Yeah. All right, Tez, look at the screen. Tell me which video.
Yeah, I ain't.
It's called. Okay, go up right quick. It's that first one. Yeah, right there.
You say what?
You got to go up to the very first one where they had the child in the fire. Right there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I figured it was that one. Okay.
Dang, I like that second one too. But go ahead. Cause that's what I was trying to
the lady on it.
That's what I was gonna bring out, the abortion. But after
Barbaric.
this you can go to
Evil.
Okay.
Ancient.
No.
Modern. There's nothing new under the sun. Throughout history, children have been sacrificed to a variety of deities in attempts to gain favor or blessings. Aztecs cut their children's hearts out to appease the gods of rain and
Y'all seen Apocalypto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah. It just so happened it was about the Aztecs when they captured the if I'm not mistaken, the other group was the Boricua Taínos. But the Aztecs was doing this exact same thing right there. They'll cut their hearts out and hold their hands up to the sun. It was the exact same thing.
war. Incas sacrificed their children to the sun god so their crops would flourish. Canaanites sacrificed their infants to Moloch for prosperity. Drums were played loudly to drown out the baby's screams. Child sacrifice never stopped, and we still don't hear their screams. There's nothing new under the sun. We sacrifice our children today, not for rain or war victories, but for freedom or convenience. We sacrifice to gain favor in the workplace, or for the blessings of money or fame. We sacrifice our babies on the altar of free sex. Child sacrifice is no longer a public event. It's done behind closed doors. Rather than a gory burning or bloody stabbing, it's become a neat, sterile, and clinical event. We don't throw our children into the fire or leave them to freeze to death. We starve our babies. We poison them. We rip off their arms and legs and crush their skulls. We call it choice. We call it empowerment. And our culture condones it. We celebrate it. We celebrate baby murder. We consider it vital to our existence. It's become a right. But nothing is different. There's nothing new under the sun. Innocent human beings are still being sacrificed for the selfish gains of those more powerful. Modern child sacrifice is thriving. We must end it. End abortion.
Woo. That's deep. Hey, they just let you know exactly what's going on with abortion. Hey, they them out the that's from the horse's mouth right there. Abortion ain't no different from more like sacrifice. Yeah.
Man, if you look at man, I think it was Cleveland and Cleveland alone,
Hey, yo,
bro.
your
It was like
connection messed up.
oh my bad.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's clear now. At first it was kind of
can hear
staticky. It's clear now. Yeah.
I was gonna say in Cleveland alone, bro. I think within like a hold on, let me see if don't quote me yet. Ohio, yeah, in Ohio, missing children.
Oh,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was
I
like
meant to
1,000.
bring that up for you. I'm gonna bring that up.
Yeah, it say 1,000 children reported missing in Ohio this year alone. That's one state, bro. 1,000 children. That's crazy. So,
Damn.
yeah, and this came out on NBC News 1 month ago, exactly 1 month ago. So that's like at the beginning of October. You know what I'm saying? What do you know? The season, the reason for the season. You know what I'm saying? So.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So
Hey,
we just la walking along in society, not thinking nothing's going on. Meanwhile, they sacrificing our children.
Right.
hey, bro. And the crazy part is, it gotta be something like sacrifice or something. Man, they not even finding a trace of these children. You know what I'm saying? These children is coming up missing without a trace, bro. So the thing is, what's happening to them? Where they at? Right? You ain't finding nothing. You ain't finding no remains. Nothing. What's happening? Now you not shipping all these children overseas to serve like they be saying on the black market and nah, man. It's something deeper than that going on. You know?
Yeah.
It's something deeper than that going on.
Yeah.
Law enforcement. You mean to tell me law enforcement ain't got nan lead? What's going on, law enforcement? Y'all take an oath too. Y'all gotta take an oath too. I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Anybody with a profession that has to take an oath to be in that profession, I don't know if I can't trust you. I can't trust you. Cause you taking the oath to a brotherhood when you become a law enforcement police officer, right? You taking the oath into a brotherhood. Look at that, more than 1,000 kids reported missing in Ohio. Wow. That's in this year?
Yeah.
This year. Look,
bro, that's crazy.
Look how old they was though. Look at this. This year. Look at this. 17. 16,
Mm.
14, 17, 16. That's crazy, bro. I'm about to play the video.
Man, Satan losing power, bro. He losing his power, man. That's why you got so many of these sacrifices happening. Then you got all these wars. See, people ain't understanding also. With all these wars
Wait, the
going
video gonna
on,
play?
man, they take your child when they about 18 years old. As
Okay,
soon as
yeah,
they get
play.
out of high school, they want them 18 years old, right? And he ain't this boy ain't live life. And he go over to Afghanistan, he go over to Ukraine, he going over into Gaza, he going over into all of these hot places.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, these kids coming back in a body bag. And then what? Hey, the ultimate sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. That's crazy. Mm.
Hey, you know it's crazy too. Like what a lot of them vampire movies, a lot of them vampires had to get a virgin blood, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them they go after the children because of the innocent virgin blood, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Actually they had a
Right.
movie, it was a movie called Innocent Innocent Blood. I think that was like 1992 where they were showing the vampires going out to yeah, so I think Mike dropped
Mm.
out, man. Yeah, I think Mike dropped
Yeah,
out.
yeah. It looked like he fell off, man. I think his internet was dragging a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, he fell out.
Yeah,
But yeah, man,
that's crazy.
it's a cold world out here, man. And people ain't realizing how really wicked it is, man. It's more wicked than what people know. And I think the Most High only gives certain people the understanding concerning that, because a lot of people would go crazy, man, if they really understood how wicked it was out here, or how wicked it is out here. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what just happened. Somehow I had got kicked for a second.
Yeah. It sounds like your microphone dragging a little bit, like lagging a little bit too.
For real? Hold on,
Yeah.
let me take this off there. Let me see.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's wicked out here, man. Hey, y'all people at home, if you're listening to what we got, what we bringing forth, I pray this go out and reach some ears of those who had no understanding concerning what we bringing forth. For those of you who coming across this, and you see these things, we don't want you to get afraid. Don't get scared. No, because guess what? These things been happening before you was enlightened concerning they was happening, and you wasn't scared then. So it ain't no reason to be afraid. We got the Most High. We got Christ. Christ shed his blood for us, so that we can overcome these sort of things, right? Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. That's what Christ told us. So through this understanding, you should be able to free yourself from these strongholds. That's because these holy days and these traditions are strongholds on a lot of people. So through this truth that we bring forth, through the spirit of the Most High, through the spirit of Christ, you should be able to free yourself from these things. Understand, we Bible believers, we believe in Christ. We believe in the Most High. We believe that, the so-called black people in the hoods are Judah, right? Or Israel. We believe that. And we understand that. We understand that this history is solid. We understand that this information is solid that we bringing forth. So no, it ain't no reason to be afraid concerning what we bringing. What we bringing forth is for you to renew your mind. Renew your mind, and once you renew your mind, then your ways can be changed. So that's what we trying to do today, through the spirit of the Most High. So yeah, no fear.
No fear, no fear. All praise. Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say this real fast. It's interesting because you got to understand a lot of these demons or sorcerers, they understand that our people, since we've been we go through a lot of dysfunctions because we've been targeted, our family. So a lot of the easier targets are black children, Latino children, you know what I'm saying? So they target our children, you know what I'm saying? So I was just thinking, I brought this up last time. I remember when we used to go trick or treating, that we would go all the way out to the suburbs because they used to give out the good candy to the little ghetto kids. You know what I'm saying? They give you the extra king size Kit Kat. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, they didn't want you in their neighborhood, but they wanted you to come out there and trick or treat. They wasn't tripping when you was out there trick or treating. You know what I'm saying? They was giving out that candy, them extra large Snicker bars. Because we say, oh, we want to go across, we want to go out there to get our trick or treat. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Man, I remember certain people out in the suburbs. They would be, they would be out with their stuff, bro. They had a star in front of their house, bro. They have all type of signs and stuff in front of their house, letting you know that they worship Satan. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no shame in their game. So they
man, that brother, man, that brother said a Kit Kat, man. Dang, why you say a Kit Kat?
That brother want to come back and get him a pagan Kit Kat.
Man, I'm gonna shoot back to Babylon for a second, man, just to get a Kit Kat, man. Them boys was good. They be stale over here.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, let me see if this video will play now.
Hey, that brother right though, man. I remember not for those of you who don't know, me and this brother, Ibar, we pretty much kind of like grew up together. You know what I mean? So I remember when we was younger. Now I never really dealt with the trick or treat, none of that type of thing. But I remember they was telling me because we was living out in the suburb for a minute, right? And while we was living out there, the little area that we lived in was concentrated like black people all in the little area we lived in. But when you go outside our area, it was white folks, like Cortez saying, right? And they used to tell me like, man, you go over here, boy, you gonna get the big candy bars and this and that. Now I ain't never, like I said, I ain't never dealt with the Halloween or nothing like that. But I remember people used to be telling me that they'd take their little pillowcases and go out there and be, getting the big candy bars. So when that brother was saying that, and he ain't lying, then guess what? That same neighborhood, that same place, that same city that we were staying in, if you know Detroit, it was called Taylor. Now out there at Taylor, it was some black people moved into the neighborhood, to one of those neighborhoods, and the white folks out there put the KKK sign out there and burnt something out. Was burning something in the yard, trying to get the people, out their little area. Now this was probably what in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want you to live with them, but when you come out there and get them big old candy bars, they like, come on, come get it.
They want you to indulge in they wickedness. Don't live with me, but you can indulge in this bull crap.
Right.
That's crazy. Come get this big old Kit Kat, leave me alone.
Take this king size Kit Kat and get up out of here.
Go on, get the dogs. Let me see if this video will play now.
Man, Halloween is the worst holiday to me, man. It always been. It just was so lame. I ain't never like putting on no costume. I ain't never like, man, I ain't like it. I ain't like knocking on people's doors. I ain't like that, man.
Right. Man, yeah, that jump was weird.
Yeah, I don't think he can see when you play the video, Mike.
Oh, you
Yeah,
had a
I'm gonna
video
stop it
playing?
anyway because it's making it lag.
Yeah, I couldn't see it. I apologize, bro.
No,
I
I just
didn't see
played
the
it for us.
video.
No, you good. I stopped anyway because it's making my stuff lag. I think that's why my voice was lagging. That source that we was going through that popped up under had my jump lagging. I don't know why. But yeah, they're just touching on the losses of the kids. But y'all see how old them kids was? They 17, 14, 16, a bunch of girls at that. I seen a few boys.
Yeah, because they
Man,
don't
that junk.
like the video we was watching, bro. They drugging them up.
Right.
I mean, how many of us know family members of, let's say, child protective services, man? They got so many cases of child protective services of negligent or, people not even like negligent to their kids, but they just got all means to just come in their home and just confiscate their children. You know what I'm saying? Like, where are they taking these children? What type of circumstances are you putting them into? And it came out that a lot of those children were being abused and sexually abused, and all type of stuff was going on, man. A lot of them children that's brought up in child protective services, man, they get misused and abused, and they go out into the world and they become these warlocks and these type of people. Yeah, worship these type of things. But my wife personally, she was taken from her parents because they said her father went crazy because he was more like on a revolutionary tip, you know what I'm saying? And they took her from her parents, man. She had a 2-parent household. They took her brothers, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So they got systems. They got systems that's protecting these type of actions, bro. Like, one of the biggest hubs is like California and Florida. That's one of the biggest states that a lot of this child trafficking and all that stuff is going on at. A lot of these hotels and all that. So we the ones that's in the dark, just operating like it's nothing, but they just doing it plainly in our face.
Exactly. Y'all see what's going on in the juvenile system right now? My bad.
Hey, what those two states got in common?
Florida and California.
Yeah.
They got the courts.
Nope.
What?
Florida.
Disney.
You said who?
Yeah, Disney. Yeah, dang.
Disney. Dang. I ain't even think about that. Yeah, we know what that means.
Yeah, they both got Disney in common. And child track, like you said, the two biggest hubs, the two biggest known places where they Magic at. They even named their NBA team the Orlando Magic. Florida, California, the two biggest hubs for witchcraft and child trafficking.
Right.
Wow.
Right. And to touch on what Tez was saying too, with the system, like how they take the kids away. You see now, I don't know if y'all been seeing it, but they got some lawsuit going against the juvenile facilities now because something been happening to them kids in them juvenile facilities here in Michigan. I've been
heard
seeing
that.
this. Yeah, bro, it been all on Facebook. Have you been incarcerated in this such and such facility, and did this, that, etc. happen to you? They advertise this junk on my Facebook page, on my news feed. Yeah, man. Hey, hey, it's crazy out here, bro. That's like, hey, man, the Most High the Most High gonna deal with this bull crap because these folks think they gonna get away with this junk. The Most High gonna deal with that. I was sitting there thinking about that when they was showing the Moloch video, the last video we was watching,
when the baby get thrown in the fire and it's crying so loud, they beat on the drum so won't nobody hear it. They could beat the drums so it could tone out the baby crying. I'm sitting there thinking like the Most High gonna deal with that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the Pied Piper?
Man, hey, what about what just happened over there in Palestine? Nobody really talking about it.
Right.
Where they claim all of those children were killed and beheaded.
Right.
And then they tried to show pictures and put the pictures and stuff out there like that, right?
Uh-huh.
Could that have been a sacrifice to get their war cracking?
Hey.
Could that have been a sacrifice to their gods because when you watch these movies, man, these medieval movies where it show you that these people were sacrificing and worshiping to their gods before they would go to war.
Exactly.
For good fortune.
Exactly.
When you watch the Viking movies and
300,
all of them, man, all the medieval movies.
Mm-hmm.
They made a sacrifice before they go to war. So the thing is, check this out: when children are killed in the way that they said they were over there in Palestine,
mm-hmm.
You gotta go to war. You gotta go to war. You can't let nobody just kill children and not go to war.
Exactly.
I don't think the Palestinians did it. That's my opinion. I believe that the Israelis did it because they wanted to go to war.
Right.
And that was a sacrifice to their God.
Right.
And we know they God is slavery.
Yeah. And as we were seeing in the video that Tez brought out the last one, a lot of them do them sacrifices because they looking for a certain blessing. So, like you said, hey, before they go to war, they do some type of sacrifice to try and get some type of blessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's crazy. That's crazy. That was just a thought. And I had been thinking about that for a minute.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, my bad. I fell out.
Fell out.
I thought on your shirt.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, they do certain stuff to lead these kids astray too. They put certain things out there to lead them astray. That's why I wanted to get this Piper little thing real quick, a little history, a little story about the Pied Piper, just to be an example of how certain stuff is put in place to guide kids away from their safe zone. Yeah, let me get it right there. Man, my internet running like the African internet now. Shoot, what the heck going on? Oh no, what's over my internet today?
Pied Piper, I thought the Pied Piper was R. Kelly, man.
Hey. Hey. Maybe he was utilized for something too.
So you saying it's an original?
The original. Man, it's the original Pied Piper right here. I don't know what's going on with the plate. Maybe it wasn't meant to bring this one out.
Yeah,
Well, we
man.
can go on to the next
I
topic
know it
later
might
on.
seem to
Next
everybody like
time,
we
my man.
bouncing around. It might seem like we bouncing around with, holidays, and we talking about missing children, and we talking about sacrifices and ritual, but it all ties in together. You know what I'm saying? It's a connection with all of it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I
Yeah.
wanted to say about we was talking about the Disneyland thing. The brother had brought it out that those was the two capitals for Disneyland or whatever. They had just found that Disneyland had an underground, like a whole underground version of Disneyland. Where, you know what I'm saying? Secret tunnels down in that thing.
The pipe.
Look like it's playing now.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, look like it's playing.
Piper of Hamelin, a story used by parents to scare naughty children. That's all, right? What if I told you that this folktale is based on a real event? The rat catcher that charmed the children of Hamelin and took them away was apparently a real person, and the story is based on a real event. Hello, and welcome to 7 Facts. In case you don't know it, this is roughly how the story goes. The people of Hamelin in Lower Saxony were desperate. Their homes and streets were full of rats, and they couldn't get rid of them, no matter how hard they tried. Then a stranger appeared in town, who promised to lure away all the rats, in exchange for some payment, of course. The locals gladly accepted the deal, so the pied-dressed man, pied means multicolored, went to work. He took out his magic pipe and started to sing. Charmed by the spell of the music, the rats followed the piper all the way to the river, in which they all entered and drowned. Now it was time for payment, but the mayor of Hamelin refused. So in revenge, the piper took out his magic pipe and sang again. But this time, it was the children that followed him. He led them all away and were never seen again. This is one of the darkest tales in European folklore that's been also picked up by the Brothers Grimm. The morals of the story, the consequences of deception.
They say that the mayor didn't want to pay him. So since the mayor didn't want to pay him, he done did some magical stuff and with the flute and had the music come out and hypnotized the children. Now the children started coming up missing. Could that have some type of similarity to these days? Who knows? Because I know a lot of times it'd be a lot of debts being passed down generation to generation in this world. They be trying to figure out ways to pay them off. That's just my thought. I don't know.
Ingratitude and revenge are disturbing to say the least. This isn't one of those and they lived happily ever after stories. But it isn't a story either. Something terribly wrong happened in the Middle Ages in this small German. There are historical documents that attest it. We know that something happened, and we know when, but we don't really know what. The date of the event was inscribed on the stained glass of a church that's since been destroyed. The glass showed the piper, and these words were written on it. In the year 1284, on the day of Saints John and Paul, on June 26, 130 children born in Hamelin were led away by a piper clothed in many colors to their Calvary near the domed hill and lost.
130 children came up missing.
The official documents of the town also added a chilling detail. After 1351, all the events in Hamelin were dated in the years since our children's departure. In the Lüneburg manuscript of 1440, the Pied Piper was once again mentioned. So what the hell happened here? Before we continue, I'd like to ask you one thing. This channel has no sponsors, so if you enjoy the content I make, please consider supporting these videos by becoming a patron. You can check were often hired to open local festivities. It's no coincidence that the Pied Piper of the story was hired by the mayor. The description of the piper leading away the rats from the town might have been a case where the hired piper played such an act. The multicolored clothing is also real. At the time, inferior citizens like entertainers, buffoons, or executioners wore such colored clothes to signify their lower status. Pipers were, for some reason, especially despised. They were considered to be lazy, vagrants, and even dangerous. In some places, they weren't even allowed in churches. So this part of the story pretty much adds up. What about the rest? To be honest, the part of the story with the rats being lured away was added later. This wasn't mentioned in previous versions before the 16th century. However, viewed through the eyes of a medieval citizen, this addition is not that out of its place. Because you see, these were the times of the Black Death. The plague epidemics were ravaging the continent, so the connection between the appearance of a troublemaker piper and the appearance of the terrible disease was probably made in this context. But this version of the story appeared only after 1556, when the piper was described as a rat catcher, and the brothers Grimm later tied this to the disappearance of the children. Okay, but we still haven't answered the big question. What the hell happened to the children? Some believe that this also has to do with the plague. The town could have been under quarantine and the children might have been taken out of Hamelin for safety. Others believe that these children could have joined the Children's Crusade of 1212, a failed attempt of a crusade against the Muslims. In this quote-unquote crusade, thousands of children were convinced to join, but most died on the way, or more often were taken to be sold as slaves. But this doesn't explain why this story is so deeply connected to Hamelin and no other place. There's also another hypothesis. Many citizens of Hamelin may have been persuaded to move to Brandenburg for colonization. There are indeed family names that are similar or exact to those typically found in Hamelin. And in the 13th century, German city dwellers were nicknamed Children of the Cities. So this could be a story about the separation of a community. Interestingly enough, there is a similar folk story in Brandenburg too, about a piper whose music charmed children. The fact of the matter is that we don't know. All we have is the chilling story about the disappearance of 130 children. It could have been a disease, an accident, or a terrible crime. We have historical documents that attest this strange event, but no documents that explain what had happened. But the event must have been impactful. More than 700 years later, the people of Hamelin still remember it and blame it all on the Pied Piper.
So if they blame if they blame it on him, it's obvious he done did something. 130 children came up missing and don't nobody have no records of it. Hey, there's only one other thing to say. It's only one other thing to really say. That's just crazy. But yeah, man, y'all still there?
Hey, what's the other thing? What's the other thing to say?
You already know it. Hey, they came up missing. They ain't go back home. So what happened? Could it have been a sacrifice? Some type of weird sacrifice or whatever going on? Could it have been that Moloch cult that we was just reading about? Who knows? But hey, them kids ain't just come up missing for nothing. Then I heard a certain part in there, if you listen close, it said something about some of them being sold as slaves. Y'all heard that?
Okay, well, you brought that out. We was talking about Disney. Another Disney story is Peter Pan and the Lost Boys, right? Now, when it comes to Peter Pan, if you know the understanding behind Peter Pan, Peter Pan Pan is Satan, flat out. Pan is Satan. Okay. If you see that half man, half goat, you got the man upper body and the goat lower body. That's Pan. All right. The spirit of Pan is to lead away young children, boys, preferably, to never be found. And that's why you got Peter Pan and the Lost Boys. It's another Disney production, right? What we was just looking at right there, the Pied Piper. The Pied Piper is Pan. When you go into the understanding of who the Pied Piper is, the Pied Piper is Pan. That's who that is. All right now. So that's what it is. Y'all can look it up. Look it up for yourself. You think we playing? Pan is the Pied Piper. So when you had R. Kelly, right? And see, these Jewish people know what they were doing. And yeah, I said it, Jewish people. R. Kelly may not have known what he was doing because the brother couldn't even read. So I don't really think that he understood what he was doing. I think some Jewish dude told him to call himself the Pied Piper. And later on, they was just setting him up for the kill, right? Talking about he lead away young children and things of that sort. But he was calling himself the Pied Piper or R&B. And then what happened to R. Kelly later on? He get brought up on charges of child molestation. You know? Pedophilia, pretty much. So, yeah, they knew what they was doing. You know, I don't know. He might have, because, you know, a lot of our people, they sacrifice themselves into the occult and they begin to have some sort of understanding concerning what they're dealing with. And so R. Kelly might have knew, but for sure, his handlers knew. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. They most definitely know. Oh, buddy. Sure. Y'all got some more videos? Anything? If not, so we can get in these scripts.
Hey man, I was just catching y'all alley-oops, man. That's all.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You ain't got nothing else?
Man, that brother over there asleep.
Nah, that's pretty much all I had. Nah, I'm just over here looking at some stuff. But nah, that's pretty much
that
all
brother
I had.
That brother be falling asleep for about 5 minutes.
And he heard me in the midst of the sleep. Like, no, I ain't got nothing else. Oh man, that's funny. Oh man. You know what? I got one more video. I actually want to play this earlier when you was on the Christmas thing. Split my mind. Play this one last little joint. You can get me script. I'm sure we all heard it, but a lot of people haven't heard it. Just to show that the Hollywood world know that all this stuff is wicked.
Say glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace goodwill toward men. And that's what Christmas is all about.
You hear that, boy? That's what Christmas is all about.
Actually, Granddad, Christmas is a pagan holiday. And Jesus probably hates you for celebrating it.
There ain't gonna be no Scrooges in this house, boy.
Look, Granddad, it's clear from the scripture that Jesus was not born in winter. The shepherds who saw the angels announcing his birth would not have been out in their fields in December. The Palestinian winters are too cold, if you believe in that sort of thing. The truth is, Christmas evolved from the Roman holiday Saturnalia, a winter festival where men gave gifts to each other. They also would get drunk, have sex with each other, and beat their wives. People
Oh man, damn.
would act so crazy on Christmas, the holiday was out.
I ain't mean to pause it on that part. My bad, y'all. I was gonna say something. It just threw me off. Hey,
This hobby, they exposing themselves with this, but I didn't mean to pause it right there. I was about to say something right there, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, the dude. Yeah, the Roman dude throwing it back like sexy red right there. What the heck was that?
Man, I'm glad I can't see that. I'm glad I can't see it.
Hey, excuse me on that one. I didn't know that was about to pop up. I just remember them saying this speech. I didn't know they were gonna show that visual. But hey, he telling the truth. They was on that weird stuff. They give gifts to each other, and then do that weird stuff with each other. And then they beat on their wives. Like, so y'all gonna beat on y'all wives, but y'all gonna do this with each other? Y'all some weirdos.
Law by the Protestant
Yeah, what's the
church
connection with the beat on the wives thing, though?
You said it again. Say it again, Tez.
Nah, I was saying beating on their wives. I was just wondering why they was beating on their wives, why they was doing that. Like, that's weird. But,
Right. Yeah, that's some weird stuff right there. That's some weird stuff. But this what people want to follow. This what our people following that right there. And what do we do on what do our people do on Christmas? They do the exact same thing. They get drunk, party, and have orgies.
And look, this how you know you can't get away from it, because this show is the Boondocks educating you on something. You know, our show has always educated us on something. Even the good times was showing you that Christ wasn't no white European man. And you got South Park, you got The Simpsons. They all be trying to educate the simple-minded people on something.
Yeah. Yep.
Matter of fact, the United States Congress Granddad?
They had to bleep that out because he don't want deep. See, it used to be illegal to even celebrate Christmas. Not here. This was in like Germany or so. I can't remember exactly when. I forgot what year it was too, but it used to be actually illegal to celebrate that time. Well, who knows?
Hold on, bro. I don't think they was actually bleeping it out. I don't think they was bleeping it out. I think that's how the granddad was interpreting what he was saying.
Yeah.
You know how you be telling people? How you be telling people?
Mm-hmm.
You know how you be telling your people the history on stuff, and they be hearing is wah 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 wah, whatever.
Yeah, because they already got a preconceived notion of who you are or what you is, so they know you finna say something. So as soon as you get to talking, they looking at you like wah 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 wah, like Charlie Brown mama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I ain't never peeped that part until y'all just said that this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, boy. What was that?
I just explained the entire history of Christmas.
But it was boring, Huey. You just blah blah gay sex. You just blah blah Congress. You know, you gotta be interesting. You're gonna talk me to death. Talk me to death.
He said you gotta be interesting. Hey, that's how people is though right there. You try to get some truth. You wanna hear that?
It was boring. It was boring, bro. Hey, it was boring. Like remember you send them 3-hour videos to somebody, and they be like, "Man, that video 3 hours." You be like, "Man, but you watched that football game. You watched 2 or 3 football games in one day." Yeah, I do.
I said,
well, damn, well, you know.
Like you said at church for 9 days.
Hey, but that's how you know too much is given, much is required, because a lot of us, we blessed with the understanding that the Most High gave us, but it requires us to, you know, reach out to all our people, even though we might get ignored, we might get looked at like we crazy, but it's a blessing to receive this understanding and the wisdom and darkness of this world, but at the same time, it requires us to, you know, constantly be trying to get it out there.
Hey, bro, and it's something. It's some humility we be showing though. Like a lot of us, we get on each other. We get on each other being Israel about the humility factor because knowledge do puff up. But bro, we get our intelligence insulted more than anybody else. And that's the truth, man. We go out here, we get to speaking to people, and we giving them information that can be, man, you can't refute no information, right? And we might not get kicked on, spit on, nothing like that, man, like in the physical, but it seems like they spiritually be spitting on us, kicking us. You know what I'm saying? All of that. And it be crazy because we don't spit back. We don't kick back. We don't do none of that, man. We just move on. You know what I'm saying? No matter how bad it hurt. What relative, you know what I'm saying, that you got so much, you might have so much love for this relative and you bringing out the understanding to them and you thinking they gonna take it on because these are the people who've always loved you and you get rejected. You know what I'm saying? That wah 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 wah. Right? You getting that, and then they turning around and putting words on top of that. Man.
They want to hear smooth things.
I don't celebrate it because of what they do. It's about family.
Then they go to the pastor and they say, "Hey, I know my cousin was talking about we ain't supposed to celebrate this and that." What do you tell them? Some smooth things. Oh, that's just for the Jews. That was just back in the day.
Before we up under a new covenant. Jesus died for that. He nailed that to the cross.
Oh, brother, you can eat that pork. Jesus nailed that pork to the cross.
Man. Meanwhile,
that was some biblical
Right.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Y'all ain't got nothing else, so y'all bring out some scripture. I know y'all got some.
Bring it out, my brother.
Come on.
Bring it out. We know you locked and loaded.
Oh, sure. Hey, don't matter if I do. I start him off. Let me see where we going. Okay, we're gonna start with Titus. I'm gonna go to Titus, and this for the children. What we talking about earlier. And teach them the right way. Ain't got to worry about falling off. This Titus 1. Hey, Dominique, mute your mic. Okay, this Titus 1, starting at 15, and read 15 and 16. It say, unto the pure, all things are pure, children. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, adults. But even their minds and consciences defiled. They profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny him, these pagan celebrations, being abominable and disobedient. Jeremiah 10, what Cortez read when it said, learn not the ways of the heathens, that's the disobedience. And unto every good work reprobates. So to the pure, all things are pure. To children, everything is pure to a child because they don't know no better. That's why it's up to us to teach them that stuff. But it's hard for us to teach them these things when we ignorant. We already defiled. We got all this bull crap in our minds. We say stuff like, shoot, I was brought up like this, so my kid's going to follow it. So now we end up defiling our children, teaching them abominable things and being disobedient, you know. So yeah, we're gonna go to the next scripture, Ephesians 5, and I'm gonna start at 10. Proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Easter. That's all works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. So we ain't supposed to fellowship with them. So that goes with the question I asked earlier. What if they bid you to a feast? And like Ben's head, like, nah, that's a situation type thing. This answer right there. We ain't supposed to fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. So yeah, we got to reprove them, correct them. Okay, let's go over here to 1 Corinthians 10. And 1 Corinthians 10, I'm gonna start at 19. It say, what say I then? That the idols is anything, or that which is offered and sacrificed to idols is anything. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God. And I will not that you will have fellowship with devils. So what are the Gentiles sacrificing? They sacrificing their foods on that day, giving up them offerings to their gods. They sacrificing their children on them days, teaching their kids to worship and celebrate on them days. Our people going to church on Easter Sunday. You sacrificing the devils. You sacrificing your child to a devil that day. Then turn around and say, I love God. God know my heart. Okay, let's read the next one to see what he think. Verse 21, it say, ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the tables of devil. So you can't sit there and say, God know my heart. I love God. Because the scriptures tell you that we cannot eat from the Lord's table and a cup of devils. We can't. Either you love the one and hate the other. And it's obvious when you partaking in those days, you loving the devil and hating the Most High, because the Most High told us not to indulge in that stuff. Okay, I got one more. Mark 7. And I'm going to start at 6. He said, he answered them and said unto them, will have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, this people honoreth me with their lips, but their hearts is far from me. And that's what I was just saying, how people talk about, I love God, even though we'll go to them and tell them that God said don't celebrate it. They'll turn around and still say, I love God. I love Jesus. You can't tell me my God ain't this, that, etc. Well, the scripture's going to tell you this Christ. This people honoreth me with their lips, but their hearts is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines and commandments of man. Man taught you to keep that crap. It's Christmas. Keep Christmas is Jesus' birthday. Man taught you that bull junk. Easter Sunday is Resurrection Sunday. Man taught you that stuff. There's no scriptures that edify that. Man taught that. Them commandments of man to keep that junk. So what during that time, what are people doing? Verse 8, for laying aside the commandments of the Most High, ye hold the traditions of man, as the washings of pots and cups and many other such things, such like things ye do. So that's what's going on. Keeping all these pagan days, you honoring another God. You disobedient to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you also sacrificing your children, giving them up to that God on those days, teaching them that. You know, and that's all I got right there. Y'all can go. Oh, what, y'all scared to go? Y'all ain't got nothing. I'll bring some more now.
Oh no, man. I pretty much dropped everything I had.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I just wanted to bring them scripts right there because them scripts right there seem like it touched on about everything. Oh, you know what? I might got one more script. Let me see. What's that? Habakkuk? Let me see. Hold up 2 seconds, y'all. Dang, I forgot what scripture that is. Well, basically, it's a scripture that talk about a land being destroyed that's found with innocent blood on it. And we understand that a lot of this land has a lot of innocent blood on it. So yeah, yep, I hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, for sure. Well, sure. You got some scripts you want to bring out?
I just want to bring this out real quick because the topic is child sacrifice to traditions, right? And with us bringing home our traditions to our children, you know, our traditions. The scriptures tell us what to train up a child in the way in which they shall go, and when they are older, they won't depart from it. Right? That's what the scripture tell us. So when we begin to bring things home to our children, no matter what it is, our children see us and they learn by example from us. So they look at us and they say, okay, this is the example of what I should be as an adult. All right, now I'm gonna just bring this forth and then I'm gonna digress and I'll be done. Then we can say our salutations and move on. I'm at Deuteronomy chapter 5, and I'm starting at the 6th verse. All right, it says, I am the Most High, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. All right. All of these traditions that we deal with in the world, all of these holy days, holidays, whatever you want to call them, anything outside of what God gave us from the beginning, those are all attributed to a God in the earth. All right. So all of these go back to a God. So when you're dealing with these guys, the Most High, the first commandment is, thou shalt have no other gods before the Most High. And that's what you do. When you deal with these traditions, you put a God before the Most High. The 8th verse, thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow thyself down unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the generation unto the third. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. This is where your generational curses come in at. When you bring forth other gods into your home to be worshiped, these traditions go back to gods. When you bring these things into your home, you're bringing a generational curse into your home. Why? Because you're teaching your children that this is what's right. Your children will take these traditions and take hold of them, and they'll grow with them. And these will be the traditions that they give to their children. All right? Third and fourth generation of them that hate me. That's what the Most High said. And the 10th verse, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. So the Most High, he wants us to what? Love him. And by us loving him, we'll show him through keeping his commandments. All right. So that's all I wanted to bring forth. I want to say peace and blessings to everyone who takes hold of this and takes an ear to this. Thank you all for listening to us. We want to apologize to you all for not being in front of you. We have some technical difficulties, but nonetheless, The work must go on. All praises to the Father. Hey, bro, Ibar, appreciate you, my brother. Tez, the brother might have dropped out. Appreciate you as well. And I digress. You brothers have a blessed night.
Come, man. All praise to the Most High, man. I'm glad y'all came in. And we did this thing, man. Yeah, like I say, Most High willing, man. We got a lot of these to go. Lord's willing, we can come with another hit next week. You know, and yeah, like I say, that's it for we out this burst. I'm gonna end it with a nice little track. Man, Most High willing, next week we can come with that one we've been waiting for. The Stop the hating, let's be a nation. Most High willing. It's a hot lesson, a sample presentation for that too. Most High willing, we can all put this stuff in play. It's all on his time. So, you know, just bear with us. We're gonna get this together. Yep. With that, that's all you got?
Hey, yep, I'm depleted. Shalom.
Oh yeah, Shalom.
Yeah. What? Paganism. What? We stiff-necked, we don't want correction, we hate to listen. Yeah. Listen, paganism. We stiff-necked, we don't want correction, we hate to listen. The Romans took Saturnalia and named it Christmas. That's their tradition. Did Christ keep it? That ain't in scripture. How about I paint a picture? All roads lead to Babel. Babylon, them idols can't even save you. December 25th, birthday to Nimrod. Son named Tammuz, wife/mother, her name was Ishtar. Need I say more to convince y'all? Jeremiah 10:1. Same tradition, way before Christ, where they get it from. Learn not the way of the heathen, no workmen with the axe, decking trees with silver and gold. Say you do it for the kids, they still in your soul. Sitting children in Satan's lap, hungers from trees like ornaments. Did you think of that? Let me take you back. A slave master asked his wife what she wants for Christmas. He said, let's take the biggest tree and have a public lynching. Tell me how we got in this position. Keeping these pagan days, you really a Christian? How about the feast days Leviticus mentions? The end's approaching, they fooled you, you didn't notice. High time, wake out of that slumber, we getting close. Yeah, the end is near. I'd rather die before I live in fear. Shalom. Paganism. Why? We stiff-necked, we don't want correction, we hate to listen. Paganism. What? We stiff-necked, we don't want correction, we hate to listen. Yeah. What? Screaming Black Lives Matter at the table of a pagan feast that celebrates genocide, to say the least. Father, thank you for these abominations we came to eat. Bow our heads and thank friggin' Thor. 100 million Israelites slaughtered, how we gon' win this war? A Roman calendar, Greek sports, Cowboys versus Redskins. I'm praying for my brethren on Thor's day, giving thanks to Odin for all the land that was stolen from my forefathers, yelling out black power with shackles on, reporting live straight out of Babylon. Let's throw a feast, we gotta celebrate this robbery. They all got eyes, but they blind to me. The curses of Deuteronomy, my people fit all the prophecies. Chapter 28, 31, happy Thanksgiving. No need for real change, there's so many slaves living day to day, running on their hamster wheel. FEMA camps, UN soldiers, they ain't scared to kill real life. We alive, but we dead for real. Young and heartless, numb to violence, scared to feel. We used to give them books, now we hand them pills. Princess popping sands, serve my elder that Millie Rock, come and watch them dance. Put your girl on that boy and she dropped the class. Y'all ain't low, but I got to ask, are we only giving thanks cause we forgot to pass? Paganism. What? We stiff-necked, we don't want correction, we hate to listen. Paganism. We stiff-necked, we don't want correction, we hate to listen. Yeah. What?